How you doing? Happy
Greetings.
Mother's
Happy
Day.
Monday.
Hey, Free. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself? Happy Mother's Day if it applies.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. How you feel about the prompt?
Single mothers are proof that fathers are optional.
Yeah.
No, single. I think single mothers are proof that fathers are essential. Um,
Go ahead and break that down for
you,
me. Help me out.
yeah. There's numerous stats on, especially our young black boys that are raised by single
Do you have
mothers.
the facts on hand?
So you can check. I don't have. I'm
No, no,
sitting in the
no. Sir,
car. Oh, I'm sitting in the
sir,
spaceship. Sorry, I can't say
sir,
that. I'm
sir,
sitting in the.
sir. Do you have the stats on hand? It's very simple. It's a yes or no answer. What's up, babes? What's up? I'll take
I
that as
have
a
the
no.
website, but
What's up, babes? What's up? I'll take
I
that as
have
a
the
no.
website, but not the specific website.
Yeah,
I
it's
can tell
fine.
you where to go.
It's fine. If you don't have the specifics, let's just go ahead and have the conversation. But go ahead. Hey, Linda.
Yeah,
The conversation, but go ahead. Hey, Linda.
yeah, yeah. But if you could check, and I
Hey,
encourage people to do it.
sir,
Don't be taking
sir,
nobody's word for it.
sir. I'm not about to go do homework. Just tell me what you think about the prompt without, like, you ain't got the stats.
Women that are single mothers with no father present. Generally, the boys are, especially with the young boys, because this is more important for the boys, I think. They
With the
tend to be
boys.
incarcerated more.
Hold up, hold up. So you saying especially with the boys? So the boys going to jail? Because I heard that before. Tell me how that work. How does the boy who live at home with his single mama, how does he end up in jail? How did he get there? Is that just like a bus he taking? How does that happen?
So the way it happens is you learn discipline, organization, structure from men, right? So they teach you, look, this is what's
Oh
appropriate. You can't
no,
say this. This is not.
sir. Oh my God, sir. Can you? Is my question confusing for you? I'm saying, how is he getting there? I hear what you're saying about the discipline and the organization. Fine. How did he get there? How did he get to the prison?
All right. So he got to the prison because they typically don't have the discipline, the structure, the organization, the understanding of how to deal with life, right? You typically get that from your father. Women are more nurturing, loving, caring feelings. When you put that on a boy who is strong enough to physically dominate you, then he goes out into the world and has to just figure it out on his own. That's a problem.
So, cause the
So
boy
that's why you
go,
see
hold
the
up,
the
hold up. So hold up. So the boy go out in the world, and because his daddy wasn't there, he take the bus to the jail because he don't know no better.
could you repeat that?
I'm curious. How did the boy get in the jail? Like, how did he get to the jail?
Well, they get arrested because usually they are sitting there doing things that they don't have any business doing. They
Like
don't
what?
they just I'll give you an example. So when you see these TV shows where the boys, the young men, 17-year-olds are arguing and debating with the police
What?
officer has a
I'm
Glock
sorry.
on his hip.
I'm not sure
All
what
right,
you
I can
watching. What show?
all right. I'll go ahead and drop down. I don't like being cut off
And
too much.
so, you lack communication skills. That's crazy. I think it was a simple question. Hell, you look like a troll. Why you want to come up here and troll hell? Huh? What's that about?
Yo,
Oh, you on your backup? Why you want to come up here on your main account?
somebody's watching me on there. Don't like being stalked.
Somebody stalking you? Huh?
Yeah, on my main.
Who's stalking you?
That's unimportant.
That's crazy.
Why are you advocating
Block
for
that
broken?
person.
Why are you advocating for broken homes?
How am I advocating for broken homes? Where did I
Single
do that?
single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. I mean, how bird brain single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. I mean, how bird brain do you have to be to even acknowledge something this foolish?
How did I advocate for a broken home, sir?
By saying that single mothers are proof that fathers are optional.
And yeah, what part does it talk about I'm promoting broken homes?
By saying that fathers are optional.
Oh, so it's not a home without the father there?
It's not a home without either parent.
No, it has a parent. The mother's there.
Without either parent, it's not a home.
You said either, but one of the parents is home.
But it's missing one, right?
Yeah.
Okay then, so it's not a home.
Hold
That's a
up.
broken
Hold
home.
up. Hold up. Are you saying, because I'm pointing out that there are single mothers who are able to successfully raise their children, that men will see my life and say, okay, I'm going to walk out of my child's life? Is that what you're saying? And is that the message that
What I'm saying is this shit is dumb. And you're too
No,
old.
I'm asking for
You're too
clarification.
you're too old to be having these immature ass conversations. Like what the fuck?
Oh, you want to go off? So ain't nobody stalking you. You just wanted to come up on your backup so you can go off.
Nah, I'm not crashing out. If I was crashing out, I would have crashed
I
out.
never even said crash out. Oh, so you familiar with the platform? That's interesting. Um, so me saying that, hey, ma'am, you raising that child on your own, whether the father is or not, you can still be successful. And you saying
That
because I
don't
said,
matter.
hold up, sir, you're not a good listener. You gotta listen. Because I put those words on the screen. Some man is going to see that and be like, I'm about to walk out of my children's fucking life. Yeah, and use me for validation.
That don't matter. A child needs both of his parents.
Okay,
It don't
so
matter if
who,
some end up
sir,
successful. That's
sir.
unimportant.
Sir, why would the father leave the house if it's so important?
Because they're weak.
Okay, so what you want me to do? What you want me to do about weak men out here not want to
It's
raise their
not
children?
about weak men. It's about what you're advocating for.
How am I
That's why
advocating?
I'm
So they
here.
weak. You just said they weak,
Yeah,
sir.
but it's not about them. It's about what you're advocating for. That's my whole purpose in here.
Sir, what do I have to do with weak men? I'm not. I'm not a man. Maybe you thought I was a man. I'm not a
It
man.
seems like you can't stay on topic.
No, I'm trying to get clarification.
On what?
You don't notice that we saying two different things?
You're not paying attention to the topic at hand.
What
That's
am
why
I
we're
not
not on
paying
the same
attention to,
page.
sir? What am I not paying attention to?
You're not paying attention to the topic at hand. That's why we're not on the same
What am I
page.
not? Listen carefully. What am I not paying attention to?
You're not paying attention to the topic at hand.
Okay.
That's why we're not
Tell
on the
me what
same
I'm not
page.
paying attention. Tell me what I'm not paying attention to.
The topic.
What part of the topic? I'm definitely on topic.
The fact that you're advocating for single mothers.
I'm not advocating for single mothers, sir. You just said weak men leave the home.
That has nothing to do with the topic
Do
at
you want
hand.
me to?
That's a
Do you want me to?
subtopic.
Do I need to help weak men stay home? I'm confused.
That's a subtopic. You're straying from the original topic.
And I'm asking you, how am I doing it?
And I'm explaining it to you because you're
And I'm
going
telling
off
you
on
that's
a
not what
sub.
I'm doing. I'm telling you that's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is you're actually changing the topic and you're
You're
telling
asking
me
questions, and when I try
I'm
to
doing
give
what
you
you're
an
doing.
answer, you start interrupting me. That's interesting.
No, I'm not. I want you to give me the answers. I'm
Okay,
listening.
so please let me answer. Like I was saying, you're straying from
Your
the
food
original
ready.
topic by asking why do fathers leave the home instead of remaining on topic, which is single mothers are proof that fathers are optional, which
They
literally
are.
means, right? Which literally means that you're
That's right.
advocating for single moms by saying fathers are optional. That's idiotic.
No, I'm not advocating for that. It's more like validation.
What are you validating? Your idiocracy?
Oh, so calm down. Don't be so high headed. What I'm saying is, to a woman who's raising children and the man is weak, as you stated, it like she can still raise those children and be successful. I'm not advocating.
Yeah, she
It's
can
not
be,
like
but it's not
hold on,
likely.
I'm trying to finish. Home, come down, I'm trying to finish. So it's not like I'm saying, hey, fathers, y'all niggas weak, leave the house. What I'm saying is, woman, if the man left, you still good because it was optional. You can do it without him.
Look at these men that don't have father figures. They do not turn out
I can't
okay.
be there. I can't be that father figure. Why do you think weak men leave? Why do you think we men allow so many weak men to leave their children? Why do y'all allow that to happen?
Why do you think a woman
Are
allows
you
you to
burning
do
the
whatever
food?
you
What's
want?
that noise? You want to
Why do
go
you
check on your food?
why do you think a woman allows you to do whatever you want? Because we're all grown adults. No one can control another person. I don't know what you think this is. You need to grow
I'm
up,
not trying to
seriously.
control anyone. I'm
Okay then,
accepting
so
that
why are
they
you
don't.
asking me about another grown
Sir,
ass
I
man like
agree.
I could tell him how to deal with his family?
Why are you so angry? Listen to what I'm saying. I agree with you.
Yo, you're deaf.
Those men, the men are weak. It might be the alarm in your ear. It's
You're
okay.
deaf.
So it might be the fact that you said that those men are weak, and I agree with you. And I'm telling the women who are still raising children, despite we having all these weak men, that we can still raise. Like it's optional. It's fine if you
You
left. You can
asked
be
me another question.
whatever question.
You asked me, why don't
I
men?
asked you about the smoke detector.
Yo, you really are bird brain. You just trying to rage bait and you're just failing.
I'm not trying to raise bait,
Holy
but calling
crap. Like
names
I'm
is
witnessing
bait.
immaturity in real time. I can't believe you're a real person behind your phone screen.
So
This
we
shit is
can't
crazy.
finish the conversation.
If you could stay on topic,
I'm trying to stay on topic, sir. I
okay, so
think
stop
that's what I
mentioning
was trying to
other
tell you,
things outside of
sir.
the
I
conversation. Why
think
are
the
you talking
ringing
about a
in your
smoke
ear might
detector?
have thrown you. Calm down, because
And
it
you
was
keep telling me to
distracting. And
calm
then
down. That has
talking.
nothing to do with the conversation.
I don't want your home to burn down, sir. Maybe you don't care. That's. Are you one of these
Maybe
weak men?
maybe you need to stay on topic. It seems like you're weak because your attention span is very detrimental right now to this
Does
conversation.
somebody have a bad attention span that makes them weak? Now I need to know your definition of weak. That's crazy.
Your attention span seems weak
Why are
because
you trying to attack me, sir?
you
Why
can't
do you
pay
want to?
attention for shit.
Why do you want to attack me?
What did you say?
Why are you trying to attack me?
Attack you? If I was
Yeah.
trying to attack you, I would have insulted you.
Yeah, you try to throw names, and you the one about to eat
What
burnt food.
name did I throw at you then? If I'm trying to throw names,
All right, let's get back on topic. Why are
now
weak
you want to
men?
get back on topic. That's
Why do
interesting.
men allow other men to be weak, sir? Why do
You
you
are
allow
you are
men to be
also
weak?
weak at having conversations.
Okay,
You're an interesting person, an interesting specimen. Anyways,
specimen
if
is interesting. Do you
anyways, if
you wanted them you wanted them freaky ass niggas who be like, you want me to argue with you so you can like get off or something? I'm
I've been
confused.
trying to get you to stay within the context of the conversation this whole
Sir, you
time.
all over the place, sir.
You know,
You are all over
you're
the
all
place.
over the place. That's you.
You're all over the place.
So let's bring it back to the original thing that we were talking about.
Why? I wonder how it must take a lot of energy to move. It must take a lot of energy to move your mouth the way you're talking. Like, sorry, it was just a simple point. You couldn't answer my question. And now you talking about get back to the topic as if you said something that we need to get back to. I literally asked the question, you've answered it.
What was the
Like I said,
question?
I think that smoke alarm might have thrown you off. What I said is, why do you meet men like you allow weak men in our society to abandon their children? That was a
Didn't I
question.
answer that question?
You did not.
I didn't answer that question, so I didn't tell you the same reason why other women let you do what you do because they're grown ass adults. I didn't say that already.
You did not say that.
You're so delusional. Like I can't. You can't even
Did
pay
you have your
attention.
father? Did
You
you have
can't
your
even pay
father?
attention, and you want to talk about me.
Did you
Look
have
at
your
you.
father? Was your father in your life?
Yeah, he was.
Where he at now?
He's chilling right now.
Do you live with your daddy?
I'm too grown to be living with my parents.
Well, I didn't know that.
Shit. Do you live with your parents still?
I don't, but I also didn't know how old you were.
I'm surprised.
No, because you could be 18 on TikTok. You could have been 18. I mean,
I'm surprised.
what are you surprised at?
I'm surprised that you don't live with your parents.
You don't live with your mother?
Nah, I don't.
You sure?
Positive.
You got children?
Nah, I don't.
You sterile?
Nah, I just know better. I'm not sped.
How do you know you're not sterile?
How do I know I'm not sterile?
Hmm?
Because it works.
How do you know?
Because it works.
What
Like,
does
are you
that mean?
deaf?
Just because something come out doesn't mean it works, sir.
No, it works. Like, you're deaf.
How do
Are
you
you?
know? How do you know
How
it
do I
works?
know? What? What do you mean? Because it works. That's how I know it works. Because it works.
I don't think you understand how it works.
No, I don't think you can accept an
You
answer.
know, like, no, you could not be producing like viable sperm
You're
if
so deaf. It's viable. How do I know? Because it works.
so you think because you can get it up, you can have children.
No, I think because it can go in and it can cause pregnancy, that it's viable.
But you don't have children.
Cause pregnancy, that it's viable.
But you don't have children.
Yeah. Why don't I have children?
I mean, just
Because of the fact that there's this thing that's called Plan Bs and stuff like that. They also work.
so no pregnancies. Got it. But fine. If that is a sensitive topic for you, we don't have to go there.
You already went there.
So why did your father allow weak men to be in society and not take responsibility for children?
What did you say?
Why did your father allow weak men to exist in society and not take care of their children?
Yo, you're deaf, bro. And you see, this is what you do. You
You're
try
not
to
on
spin
topic.
the
You're not
you
on
try to
topic.
spin the entire narrative to
You
make it
all over
about
the
the
place.
man that you bring up on your panel.
No,
Like,
you all
you're
over the
just not
place.
even intelligent enough to run a type of show like this. But what's
No,
the
wait.
point?
I don't know
What's
when
the
you know
point in
when you're
saying what you're saying? How is that a response to what I'm saying?
Why are you so serious? Like, what's wrong with you?
Why are you so unfunny?
It's not about being funny, sir.
It is about being funny because you keep making jokes.
No, I'm not. I'm having a conversation.
Oh my gosh. You are a class clown. Everybody laugh it up for class clown here. Anyways,
Are you okay?
for the same reason that women let you do whatever you do, whether that be destructive, whether that be helpful to society, because a grown adult cannot raise another grown adult, and you damn sure cannot tell another grown adult what to do.
Is that what you told your father?
How is that relevant to this conversation?
How is what you're saying relevant to the conversation?
Because you asked me, why does my father
I'm not talking about
let
adults
other
raising
weak
adults.
men exist in
I'm not
society
talking
that
about
doesn't
adults
raise their
raising adults. Sorry,
children?
I'm talking about adult women raising children. You may be confused.
You asked me a question pertaining to my father. Did you forget already?
No, but you're not on topic.
No? No?
The thing is, you're
You
not on topic.
forgot.
You're having like an emotional breakdown or something.
No, you're just not paying attention very well.
You might want to stick a spoon in your mouth.
You might need to stop projecting because, like, it's like you're blind and deaf at the same time.
I'm blind.
And deaf at the same time. You clearly can't see what's going on here. And you clearly can't hear what's happening.
But
Clearly.
you can. But you can. You're
Yeah,
talking
because
about
I'm
adults
paying
raising
attention.
adults.
I'm
I'm
paying
talking about an
attention to
adult
the
raising
conversation.
children.
What did
I'm
you
talking
say?
about, you're talking about an adult raising children. You're talking about adults raising adults. You're not on topic.
You asked me a question
He's
pertaining
very
to
hostile, and I don't know why he's crashing out
that
like
has
that.
nothing to do with the conversation. I could be hostile as hell. What does that change?
But why are you so hostile because of a conversation?
Why do you care that I'm hostile? Do you like me?
Why would I like you? You're weird.
Okay then, so stop worrying about me. What the fuck?
You
Are
want
you
to
okay?
pay
Are you okay in your head? If you don't like me, why do you care so much about me?
Are you trying to? Are
You
you
see,
trying
you
to
see how stumped you are? You
No,
can't even properly form a
I'm in
sentence. You
shock.
gotta
I'm
think as you
shocked.
speak.
I can't. I'm in shock that you actually think that I may like you. That's crazy. Is that why you are perceiving somebody to be stalking you?
I asked you a question. That wasn't an assumption.
Again, I'm talking about an adult raising children. You're talking about adults raising adults.
You asked me, why doesn't my father hold other men accountable?
You didn't
And
want
I
to have a
answered that
conversation
question by letting you know, Bo.
You didn't
And
want
I
to have a
answered that
conversation.
question by letting you know that one adult cannot hold another adult accountable.
So I don't understand what the problem is with my prompt then. If I'm talking to single mothers, it's not like I'm talking to a woman who in the father's there, and then because she read my prompt, she's like, "Oh, I'm a single mother now." It's not like that man saw my prompt was like, "Oh, I'm abandoning my children." I'm having a conversation about women who are already raising children alone. You make it seem like I'm telling adults to do something else, but
You're
you hold
advocating
up real
for it.
quick. Hold up real quick. You just said an adult can't tell another adult what to do. I'm talking to adults, and why do you think that I'm convincing adults to do something? That doesn't make sense. So you think you can't talk to another adult? That's not going to change the behavior. But for
You're
some
still
reason, my
trying to
prompt,
flip the narrative, and it's
but
incorrect.
somehow, sir, somehow my prompt is going to make adults change their behavior. That's a contradiction, sir.
You're you're incorrect, and you're trying to flip the
How is
narrative
that incorrect?
because it's not a
You
because
literally contradicting yourself.
I never said anything about you trying to tell adults what to do.
No, you missing the point.
No, you're missing the point. I said you're advocating for something, right? That's
Not advocate.
inappropriate
How
and
can
not
I
helpful to
advocate? How
society.
can I
It is
advocate?
advocating because
If
you're saying that fathers are optional.
How can I advocate if adults don't listen to adults, sir?
Do
I can't advocate for anything if I'm an adult. People want to see, oh, she's an adult. They're not going to listen to me.
you know what
That doesn't make
advocating
sense.
means?
No,
Do
no,
you
no. They're
even
not
know
going
what
to.
advocating
They're
means? Do
not
you
going to
know what
listen
that
to.
word means? Why are you using words that you don't know?
He
You
is.
gotta be like,
And I don't know
you
what. Are
you
you?
gotta be
So
sped.
why are you
You got
yelling?
to be special ed. Yo,
That's
put your
crazy.
helmet on right now. You need your helmet. Do
Do
you know
you
what
know
advocating means?
crazy? Hold on. Hold on. Calm down. You crashing out real bad. What's up, Drika?
Hey, Tara.
What's loud? What's going on?
I don't know what's wrong with hold on.
He was afraid to come up here on his main event as a main account.
Does this woman know what advocating means?
So who are you talking to?
I'm talking to your chat because you're not intelligent enough to have this conversation. Does this woman know what advocating means, guys? Because I
Oh,
don't think.
hold on. I'm not intelligent enough to hear the conversation, but you up here trying to hear the conversation with me? That makes sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense.
That makes sense to you.
Yeah, I'm making a showcase of your lack of intelligence. It makes perfect sense to me.
Can you hear me now, Tara?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
How you doing?
Lord have mercy. He needs someone to advocate for him and his well being. Um, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'd be shocked sometimes hearing, yeah, call the police for sure. Um, the reality is that yeah, like women being left to raise children and them still being able to manage to take care of them. Abs, you gotta mute up. Sorry. It's all right. Them being able to take care of them and provide for them with less than what men have on their own, and definitely less than what it would be if they were getting help from the other parent. And they do it. They do it more often than not with grace, and they get the job done. So being able to witness that and see that, you have to come to the conclusion that fathers are optional, and fathers make it clear that they're optional. Fathers have standards to being present. If they can't be dictators, if they don't get to do what they want to the mother and do what they want to the children, then they'll leave. So fathers make it clear that they are options. And once they leave, if they start a new family, then they don't have time to deal with the old family. So, I mean, I don't know what the argument would be. I guess I'm just like shocked because I'm trying to figure out like what's the argument.
I don't know what
The
y'all
fathers
mean.
do it. Like I don't. I'm like so confused. Like I've never felt like at such a loss of words, Tara, because I'm like it's evident. Like y'all make yourself options. Y'all will say like, look, if I don't want to be there, then you should have knew I didn't want to be there, and you shouldn't have had a baby with me. So I'm out. Like that's literally what they say. Like, and they go
Yeah,
on
that's
about
the
their
whole point.
business.
No, that's the whole point. It's like, it's not that women decided that the men were optional. The men proved it in real time, and I think that's too much for the men to handle. And like some type of way they want to blame it on the woman who stayed and raised the children. I guess that's crazy. What's up, Abs? How you doing? Let me send you an invite.
Oh, that's better. Hello.
How you
I'm doing
doing?
good, Tara. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. You want to respond to the prompt?
Yeah, let me get. Yeah, I do think that dad fathers are optional. This is coming from someone who was raised by a single mom for most of my childhood.
Yeah.
And
And
my
that's the
mom
thing.
has literally said to me, like, if she could have had. Oh, sorry.
No, you fine. I think your signal might be going on, might be a delay. But here's the thing. We have a lot of people who are successful. A lot of men look up to other men who were raised by single mothers. A lot of the men who put so much emphasis on the father being there because they feel like a lot of times they feel like something they should have had another type of childhood, and if that father was there, it would have been better. But we have to acknowledge that an absent father is a father being present. You just have an absent father. It's not if my father was here, you have a absent father. He wouldn't have been there because that's who he is as a person. So yeah, it's open panel now. Since
Exactly. And even from. Yeah,
I think it might be a delay for you, Ed.
alrighty.
Yeah, it's definitely a delay. So that was the whole point. It's like, um, it's not like all these women was like, I'm just gonna raise these children on my own. Men literally did not step up and take accountability and become responsible fathers. And
Yeah, well,
because
that's because
hold up,
usually the
sir.
women who end up as single mothers.
Because women are the ones who stepped up and have raised generations of children on their own, women are seeing in real time that whether the father here or not, that doesn't mean that I can't raise successful children. And now, like the guy who came up here earlier was trying to say, oh, they're going to end up in the prison. And I'm trying to see the correlation because what's happening is those same weak men who refuse to raise their children, they're outside recruiting younger boys to do things that end up getting them in prison. And even that they want to blame on women. Women are not out starting gangs. Women are not giving candy to young boys to sell. Women are not like promoting violent behavior on the streets. That's the men doing that. That's what they learning from. So because you have a absent father and then you found a weak father figure outside, that does make children a lot of these children vulnerable. But that's why I say you need to protect your children and keep them away from men. The absent father and the weak father figures outside. Find men who are productive, who are doing something themselves, who are educated, who are successful. Not just because you had a child by a weak man don't mean you're stuck with that man. Just because they're a weak man outside don't mean your children have to be around those weak men. It's simple as that. It's not that women are causing children to be in the prison system. It's just that there are weak men out taking advantage. I'm sorry, weak father figures out there taking advantage of children that were basically abandoned by weak men. Hale, what was you saying?
People who even like, not even people, but just
Thanks, Dax.
you notice when you look into these single moms and you look into these abandoning fathers and you look into these children that grow up, they all have mental health issues. And those are the only people who speak about these topics.
Is that
People
what
who have
happened to
mental
you?
health issues. Those are the only people who get on here and make these
What
stupid
type of
ass things.
what
Only
type of
people who
mental
have
health
mental health
issues?
issues. And if you
What
notice it,
type
if
of
you pay
mental
close
health
attention,
issues?
you'll notice
Type
they're
of
all
mental health
battling
issues?
demons.
What type of mental health issues? Type
They're
of mental
all
health
battling
issues?
demons.
What type of mental health issues?
Shit,
Name
every
them.
type.
Like what?
Every fucking type.
Who can you blame for your personality disorder? Who messed you up?
Excuse me?
Who messed you up?
Who messed me up?
Yeah, Abe just said you were so messed up. Yeah, who messed you up?
I messed up?
Yeah, you have a character flaw. A lot of them.
Yeah, like what?
I mean, you don't seem like someone who can self-reflect, so I'm not gonna waste my time. As
You
you
can't
said,
name any. You should have never mentioned it in the first place.
I don't have to give you feedback. You didn't compensate me.
So why did you open your mouth to speak?
Why are you here?
Why are you so Ed?
Why are you here? So why are you here?
Like, bro, these are real people. Y'all gotta.
I don't. It doesn't make sense. Why
These
would
are
you be here?
these are people in real life. Y'all gotta understand.
Simple question, sir. It said, why are you here? Sir, answer the question.
To
Why are
have
you
a
here?
conversation. How you gonna mute me and tell me to answer a question?
No, because you need to listen. You're not a good listener. So
You're
I was
sped,
giving you
man. You
guidance.
gotta be sped.
Okay, again. Sir, some people need special education services. I don't understand why you are using it
You
as
are
an
one
insult.
of those people. You qualify for an IEP. You qualify. You asked me a question and then
What is
muted
the
me.
IEP short for, sir?
It's short for someone like you that needs help and services.
No, you
What does
got him.
IEP
You
mean?
got him with that, Tara. He don't even know what it means.
He don't.
You don't even know what advocating means.
He saw the sticker go up. That's all. He don't know what an IEP is.
You don't know what advocating means. You don't know
Not
what it
only
means.
that, you're not aware of the accommodations and modifications that come with the IEP.
You need all of that though. You need the benefit.
You a grown man think it's okay to say disparaging things about children, which is why I say y'all don't need to be around children.
You need an IEP.
In order for you, because you can't come with a full statement, a full thought, you trying to hurl an insult at me, but at the same time, you're insulting children. That's deplorable.
Only you. Only you. Don't try and use children as a chess piece. That's morally bankrupt of you. But I know you can't understand that because you're a selfish person.
Do you know who get IEPs, sir? Children. Children,
People
sir.
like you.
Children, sir.
First of all, it's not only
Right,
it's
you're
not
gonna-
only children that get IEP.
Sir, tell me about your IEP.
Tell me about yours.
Again, not on topic.
Because I know you have one.
Again, not on topic.
I think I think that like at this
Here we
point
go with the
it's
groupie
projection.
friend.
Yeah, it is.
Here we go with the
projection.
groupie.
There's a lot of projection going on.
Gotta tell us
Yeah.
the truth. Here we go.
And I mean, it is possible that in an adult program that he's sent to, he could have certain special special needs or whatever. But
Love validation from mommy Tara, don't you? Holy crap.
yeah,
Listen,
she is the mother.
These cannot be real humans.
She's definitely mother.
Quiet, sir. She was talking.
Thank you. And I am obsessed with Tara. I do have an affection towards Tara. And I am obsessed with Tara. I do have an affection towards Tara.
You need to
I
learn
think
to
she's
stand
I
on
think
your
she's
own.
an amazing, beautiful person. I think she has an amazing spirit. She's honest, she's smart, beautiful mother, all that.
You would rather value Tara's.
I value her, all that.
You would rather value Tara's.
I value
I
Tara.
appreciate you, Drika. Thank you. I love Drika.
You would rather value Tara's character qualities than develop your own. You don't deserve to have an opinion.
No, I want to be just like her.
Just be quiet from now on.
So no,
You're a clone.
I'm not gonna be quiet.
Be quiet, clone. Be quiet.
No, I won't be quiet.
Be quiet, clone. Be quiet.
I won't. But what I will do before my service go out, what I will do is point out to the people that's listening that this is a prime example of someone who is insecure, someone who doesn't have a self-esteem, someone who is crashing out in such a way that he don't even know what's up and what's down. He's literally just throwing words together. I mean, stringing them together incoherently.
What does incoherently mean?
And here we go. I'm about to lose service, but here we go.
What does coherent mean?
Just listen to him. Listen to him.
What does coherent mean? You don't even know what it means, but you're using the word? Do you know what incoherently means? Do you understand what that word means? And do you understand that you're not using it in the proper context?
Well, why you come up here when you back up and you obsessed with having this conversation but not having a conversation?
No, we can have a conversation, but can we stay on topic? Because I was trying to stay on topic at first, but you drug it out here, so I played along. Now,
You
if
ain't
you want
even
to stay on
listen
topic,
better
we could
than
do
that.
that, but please stay on topic.
This is why women who are with men be having unregulated nervous system, because this is, you seem like a lot.
You're the one who brought the conversation here. It was you. You didn't stay on topic when I asked you to. Can
All
we
right, so
please stay on topic
let's
now?
do this. If you can make a point, fine. Otherwise, go ahead and drop down because you're not get. I'm not getting anywhere with you.
Thank you. I know you can't deal with me. Anyways, it's just a bunch of traumatized women speaking from a broken lens, and both of you are one of them. You both are.
Speaking from a broken lens.
Yeah, I said that, and I
A bunch
also
of
asked
bitter
you what does
women
coherent mean, and you
speaking from a
failed to answer
broken
that question.
lens.
I asked you what does coherent mean, and you failed to answer that question.
Loser.
That man was exhausting. Lord, he probably come back on his main account.
My third.
Your service man messed up. It's fine. Y'all, thanks for tapping the screen. I saw you, Dark Horse. It's fine. He was just crashing out. We can't talk about shit. Damn, that was crazy. But anyway, I don't know. He said his father was dead, y'all. I believe him. That's what happened when the daddy be in the home. The choice is yours. But anyway, like I said, mothers out here raising children on their own, right? Not because they want to, but because they can, and they doing it. It's proof that these men are not needed. Hey, Unfiltered. Brother B, I said hi to you. How you doing? What's up, Unfiltered? What's going on?
Oh, what's up? What's up?
You wanna respond to the prompt?
Single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. No, I mean they're not. How y'all complain about the men now, and y'all complaining about?
Hold on, what are we complaining about? Oh no. I think your signal might be.
Can I say something?
Hold up. Unfiltered. What's up, everybody's signal today? Unfiltered. What we complaining about?
Y'all are complaining
Hello?
about the. Y'all complaining about
What up,
the.
what's that?
He y'all complaining about the BLK man. Y'all are saying that the BLK men are weak. Saying all of these things about the BLK men, and y'all the one raising them.
We didn't say anything, sir. Are you talking about black men? Is that you talking about black men?
Yeah, y'all. Oh, I
Are
ain't know
y'all
if you
going by
said, yeah, y'all say the black man is. Yeah, I was trying to respect your panel.
Why would that be respectful by calling them BLK men?
Because I said BLK because they be saying if you say, black,
Who
that
said
it be a
that?
problem. But
Who told you that?
most of the lives that you go in, they be saying BLK. I mean, black is a problem. You got to say BLK.
So you believe whatever people tell you? People say black all day, every day on this app.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness. He just trying to follow the
I'm
rules.
trying to
Hold that
respect
door set.
exactly.
Yes, the man is just trying to be.
Hold that door set. Hold that door set. We're not doing circle jerking yet. You can say black. They lied to you. But go, but go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, the black woman has already said the black man is weak. They're not good enough for marriage. Y'all don't want us. Y'all don't want this. But the crazy part is, y'all the one.
That has not, sir. I didn't say any of those things. That's not what my background's about. Has not, sir. I didn't say any of those things. That's not what my background's about.
I mean, I don't come on now. I done heard y'all talk, man.
Sir, you sound like you coming here with biases.
Man, come on, man.
I didn't
Don't
say
do
any of
that.
those things. Unfiltered. I didn't say any of those things.
He didn't say you specifically.
I
Dorset.
said,
Dorset, hold up, Dorset. Let this man finish his statement, Dorset.
but I've also heard I've also heard women in this particular panel said, and y'all don't say anything about it.
Are those women here right now unfiltered?
Of course, the one at the bottom over there.
Oh, she's on teacup. You want to wait till she come back to make that point?
I mean, as I stated, I mean the fathers are not optional. It's already proven that single mothers raise the they produce the worst product.
Was your father there for you?
You say, was my father there for me? Yeah, he was.
Dorset, was your father there for you?
Yes.
Okay. So unfiltered, what's wrong with you then?
What you mean? What's wrong with me?
You say your father was there, so you should be fine, but you got a lot of issues.
No, I'm good. I mean, I done heard. You know, y'all say I got a 22-month-old baby that y'all say. I don't even know the 22-month-old baby. I actually came for y'all could tell me who that was.
Who are you referring to, sir?
I'm referring to you when you agreed to the girl that was on the panel.
Unfiltered, you all over the place, sir.
I'm just referring
It's
to.
fine. Go ahead, mute up. I'm gonna mute you for a second. I'm confused. What's up, Dorset? How you doing? You can respond to the prompt.
I think we're unfortunately in an era where,
So was that your smoke detector?
yeah.
I heard somewhere that the black people who like succumb to fires is way too high, and a lot of it has to do with not changing the batteries in the smoke detector.
Okay.
I'm sorry, your
Is
daddy.
that- I mean, I appreciate the upside.
I'm trying to save a black man life, but go ahead, sir.
Well, we probably need to give custody to the father. Now, I think,
Not if he don't have a good battery in the smoke detector.
well,
That can't be good.
once again, I see what typically happens in today's society. A lot of women embrace the struggle like this.
Struggle, sir.
You said what?
What struggle, sir?
Well, to be a single mother
Mm-hmm.
is a struggle, and
A what?
is a struggle.
A what?
Are you not hearing me? It is not an easy task to be a
What
single.
are you trying to say?
I just said it is not an easy task. Struggle.
A what? A struggle?
Do you not know what a struggle is?
No, I don't. Please educate me.
It's a difficult process. I replaced the word with difficult process to actually raise a child by yourself.
Are you trying to say struggle?
Ma'am, if you're correcting pronunciation, then
No, I want
that's
to make sure sir, I respect you. I want to make sure we're on the same page. I never heard of a struggle. If you say
this is
struggle,
why this is why right here, when you're trying to have a mature conversation, especially as it pertains to children,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're prioritizing pronunciation as opposed to what's in the best interest of the
I'm
child.
not. No. That's not what I'm doing. I'm prioritizing.
I mean, that's what we're doing. If we're having a serious conversation about children, and you're talking about, wait a minute, did you pronounce the STR right?
Sir, I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page, and I want to understand you. I respect you, sir, but I don't know what a struggle is. It's a struggle. I got it. Okay, it's fine.
Didn't I replace it with two different other words?
Yeah,
I said a difficult situation. I said it is. Can I continue?
Sir, it's fine now. If you want to move on here.
This is why we're in a situation where single moms are celebrated more than wives. We have too many women out here that are congratulating these women and wearing it as a badge of honor.
Why are they
that they're a single mother?
Why are they, sir? Why do these women have children and not married? What happened?
Why do they have children out of wedlock?
No, sir, that's not what I said. Why are these women who have children, right, instead of being married, why are the fathers not there?
Do you realize that's the same thing? Having children that are not married, that's children out of wedlock.
I don't know. You're missing a vital part. Why is the father not there?
Why is the father not there? Do you realize that majority of relationships, they're left by women? Now, secondly,
Why would, sir, why would a woman,
there's a small
sir,
portion of men.
sir,
I'm answering your question.
hold up, because I want to get clarification. Why would a woman decide to struggle and raise children alone? Why would she leave that man? What was happening that that woman decided to leave and struggle without that man?
Once again,
It's a simple question.
most women are having babies by the same men. There's a small group of
Who is
men
that?
that are sleeping with all of y'all.
Sir, who's that man? What's his name?
Well, do you realize that less than 25% of black men are responsible for almost 90% of children? So all of y'all are being
said-
ran
hold on.
through
You
by a
said-
small group of men.
Okay, so it's a group of men.
There's a small group of men that are running through all of y'all. Over
Okay, so,
60
alright.
over 60% of black men do not have children out of wedlock.
Sir, calm down. I don't
Over
understand.
60% of black men do not have children out of wedlock.
Sir,
You can't say that about women.
sir, are you able to have a conversation? Listen what I'm saying. So you saying all these women having babies by these group of men, right? Why are they leaving these group of men then?
Why they're never with them in the first place. Majority of relationships, majority of these babies are not. Forget being out of wedlock. They're not even in relationships. Y'all not even requiring a man to commit to you as a boyfriend.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have a child. I had my first child when I was 35.
Are you one of those men?
No, before I had children, I was with the mother of my child for 8 years.
Okay. And then when did y'all get married?
Beforehand. Now,
So hold up.
don't try to deter away from.
Sir, calm down. Please calm down. Y'all be so like.
Y'all,
Okay, sir.
is
How do you know you're not one of those men? How do you identify those men?
what men are you talking about that's sleeping with the majority of women?
Yeah, I'm not sure who these men are. So my question is, you giving me new information. I didn't know it was like this group of men.
Well, I think it's pretty common sense for to recognize that that the most men are pretty much invisible to most women. Women
is
are
that?
way more pickier than men are.
So we're not gonna get to the point, fine. So okay, why is that, sir? Why are women not choosing the majority of men?
Because the things that they prioritize when
Like what?
they're young,
Like what?
like okay, a man's social status, whether
Hold
he's
up,
the
calm
popular
down,
guy,
calm down.
and like
Sir,
the
you
things
all
that don't
like-
matter when it comes to fatherhood.
Sir, explain social status, sir. What are you referring
I
to?
said social status.
Yeah, that's what I said. Explain it, sir.
Whether or not he's popular, whether
you
or
can't
not
say
he's
ST hold
the
up.
dope boy,
You can't say-
whether or not he's like these are the guys that y'all
hold
are
up.
going for.
Sir. So you can say ST words. That's interesting. So explain the social status of these gentlemen, sir. Like, it's a very simple question, but I think
I just tried to give you a very simple answer.
sir, you want to make the point and then bulldoze over it instead of making sure everybody can understand what you're saying. Okay, so these women are going to these men of these high status, right? What makes them high status, sir?
I didn't say high status. I said his social status.
Okay, then that's what I'm trying to get you to break down.
I just gave an example of like just being the dope boy. In high school, the jock, just the popular guy.
Sir,
He would.
sir, why would a dope boy have social status? Who gives the dope boy social status?
Obviously, the women do
How do women give dope boys social status?
because y'all give them the attention
So,
just off the
how do the
reputation.
other, so how do the other men treat that? Do they isolate him? Do he get like banished by other men?
You said does he get
Yeah, the dope boys
banned?
they like weirdos in the community. The dope boys, like nobody talks to them.
No, these are the guys that sleep with all of y'all.
No, listen,
These are the
listen.
guys. See
So they have
the
status.
guys that are goal orientated, responsible, honorable. That's the ones y'all call corny.
Question, sir. Oh my God, Lord, how do the other men treat those dope boys, sir?
Well, they act like they cool with them, but they secretly
Hold up. What do you mean they act like they cool with him?
they act like they cool with them, but they secretly a lot of men are secretly envious of these guys because they're the one that's getting all the girls.
Now hold on, real quick. So the other men, they also give that man social status. Is that what you're saying? 'Cause that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, everybody wants to be with the guy that's getting all the girls. Everybody want to be cool with the ladies' man. And a lot of guys lie at an early age about being a ladies' man too.
So you upset with women wanting a man with social status when you're saying
You said I'm upset with him?
Sir, let me finish. You're saying that women are obsessed with the guy, the dope boy, who has social status, but the men are also obsessed with the dope boy who has social status. So you also get status from the men.
That's not what I said. The men are obsessed with them. They try to attach themselves with them just so they can get girls off them as well. It's like hanging out with the cool guy that got all the girls around him.
So if that's the case, why do the other men reinforce the social status? Why don't y'all isolate those men? Why do y'all put them on a pedestal? That is, why don't y'all isolate those men? Why do y'all put them on a pedestal?
Once again, we're not the ones who choose who the women are going to be sleep with.
So if women like a man, you're going to become that man. Is that what you're telling me?
See, that's what men are taught to do. Men are taught in order to do what's necessary to appeal to women. Women aren't taught to do what's necessary to appeal to men.
Who teaches men that?
When you're first, when whether it's coming from a grown woman or a grown man, men are typically taught, okay, ain't no girl gonna talk to you if you ain't doing this. Ain't no girl
Sir, it's not a hard question. I heard what you said. Who teaches that?
It's not a hard question. Then that was a very simple answer.
And why? No, you didn't answer. Who teaches him that?
I just said whether it's coming from a man or a woman, it's usually the same thing.
Sir, who taught you that?
Who taught me what women like?
Who taught you that you need to be like the guy who has high social status? You need to be like him so you can be with women. Who taught you that?
Well, I actually had to learn the hard way. It wasn't until I actually got social status that I recognized the difference.
Who's teaching that? Who's teaching that?
Who's teaching what women are going for?
That's not, sir. Who's teaching? Because you're adolescents, you're not just going to do something because somebody else is going after it. But you just said that you're told to be like something to have the women.
Like I just said, the people who are actually getting the girls, those are the ones who are schooling younger guys. The girls are telling men what they want.
Slow down. So y'all are learning from the dope boy.
I just said the girls are also telling men what they want.
No. You're learning from the dope boy.
I'm learning from the dope boy. Dope boys aren't the only ones who I use him as an example. It's showing that why there's so many single moms because the things y'all prioritize.
Okay, so I'm not even arguing that point, sir. That talking point is like in the ground, so I don't even want to argue that point. But my thing is, if that's the case, right? If that's what you believe dearly to yourself, and at the same time you're saying that the guy secretly want to be that guy, right? They have a problem with him. They're going to do it secretly, so nobody knows because it's a secret.
I
But
didn't.
you also said
I didn't
pause
say
for
they
a
secretly
second.
want
You
to be
don't
that
give
guy.
out clarification,
I didn't say that.
sir. At the
I didn't
same
say that.
time, sir,
Yes, you did. Yes, he
I
what
did.
do you
said
say?
these guys secretively are envious of these men.
So you're envious of those men. You were envious of those
I didn't
men.
say he want to be them. I said they secretively are envious of this man. They envious of
So
him
you
because they
were
got girls
envious,
and they don't.
sir. You were envious of the dope boy. So y'all look up to the dope boys. And you telling me that you learned how to be a man who women want from the dope boys.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Hey, if you're envious of someone, do you look up to them or want to be like them or not?
No, if you can be envious of somebody for something specifically, like they're getting girls and you're not.
Wait. I just ask you a very simple question. If you are envious of someone because of whatever it is, isn't it something that you would like to be, or you look up to them?
I would
because
like I would like to get that. Yes,
okay,
they have something. That's what
so
that's
wait,
that's what I
hold
said.
up. What I'm saying, that's what she's saying, but you're saying that that's not what you're saying.
No, she said that I want to be them.
Right. If you're envious of them, because you said they're secretly envious of the doughboys, right?
I said that we those guys that they call corny
No,
and
no,
all of that shit. Those are the guys that they attach themselves to these
right, and
guys
secretly,
just to be around them.
right,
But they're secretively envious of these people.
Well, that's why they're hanging around them, right?
They're hanging around them for what they bring to the table, the attention that they get,
Okay,
the girls that are around them.
Well, baby, hold up.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
yeah.
they are envious of them, and they're making it a point to go around them so they could learn from them, so then they could get women just like them. Correct?
Yes.
Right. That is literally what she's saying. So that is learning from the dope boys.
I agree with that. I said that.
No, you actually said
No,
you didn't
when
say that.
when
I'm just
when you
saying.
said
Wait, all I'm
when she
saying
said
is
what she learning from them, I
no,
said
no,
yes.
yes.
They're
No,
learning
no,
from
no.
the dope boys and they learning from the women.
No. Wait. They're not learning from the women. The men doing this to get women.
Yes.
Right. So,
Why are we repeat like
no. Why
you're
you?
starting to
No. Listen,
you're
the only
starting to
thing.
sound like her.
No. Wait. You're not. It have a reason for that because you are contradicting yourself.
No, she was just being sarcastic.
No.
But
It's not
Being
being.
sarcastic.
No, she has never been sarcastic.
come on, man. I hope you're not naive enough to actually let that go over your
Hold on.
head.
Wait. Hold up. I've been listening to the entire conversation. That's why I was asked. That's why I came up and said what I was saying there just now, right? Because I was listening to what it is you
What
were
she
saying.
doing is obvious.
Wait, hold up. Was I incorrect in what you were saying?
I agreed with you both. Like I said, y'all doing the same damn thing now. Listen,
Because you are
I'm gonna
changing
do
your
exactly
stance.
what
Wait,
y'all doing.
okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do exactly what y'all doing. Go ahead.
Wait, okay. You're changing your stance
So
because
now you're changing your stance. Is it because you're
no. Wait. Let
unsure
me
about
finish.
something?
No, let me finish.
No, I'm letting you finish. It's a simple
No, you're
question.
not letting me finish because I wasn't finished.
It's a simple question, sir.
No,
That's what
wait,
y'all are
hold on.
doing.
No, that's not what we was doing. Like literally, that's not. Wait. Hold up. She literally asked you things and you explain yourself, and then she asks clarifying questions after.
Come on, man. Like,
No, wait. Okay, if you think I'm lying, it had two other people up here.
we're
Ask them if I am off with what transpired between you and Terry, because it's only both of you guys were talking. Ask them if I'm off with what
I
was.
don't care if they
No,
I
because
came to give an
listen.
opinion.
No,
Why is
listen.
it
We
It's
know it's your
not.
opinion.
It's
Listen,
not nothing this damn deep.
no, it is, because if you are
No, no,
not,
because
wait, hold up.
she was talking about
No, no,
pronunciation.
no, wait. That was at the
He's talking
beginning.
about
That was at the
pronunciation
beginning.
while we was talking about
Okay, that was way at
what
the
was in the
beginning.
best interest of single mothers and stuff.
Right, that was way at the beginning, because again, she wasn't
Yeah,
sure
so she
what you
started
said.
off sarcastic,
No,
and
that wasn't being said.
it was obviously ad hominems and
No. Listen.
slick remarks and shit. Like it was obvious what she was doing.
Dorset, if you said something that someone didn't understand and they ask you, is this what you said? You could just clarify yes.
Oh my goodness! And,
No,
and
no,
I,
so
and I
wait.
repeated it 3 or 4 times.
Right. So because she wanted to make sure that is what you were saying, and because
Come on,
your
man!
reaction of it. Wait.
Are you really? You gonna turn into a Jamaican Steve Harvey? Like,
From Jamaica.
don't come up here pandering to women.
Okay. So I'm pandering because I'm actually talking about what you said. I'm pandering to women. No,
Come
wait.
on, man!
It's just, listen, it's just me and
Are
you
you
talk.
trolling
Wait.
right now?
No. Listen, again, let me ask you. Was I incorrect with what you said?
Why the hell are you still talking to me?
Because we
Like,
having a
is this?
no, because here's the reason.
I already agreed to what you asked me like 30 times.
Because you was disagreeing when Tara said it, but you agreed when I said it.
I agreed to
Well,
what
you
she
submitted
said.
to Dex.
Well, I can't go off what she says. She's been disingenuous since I came on the live.
So, but that's what I'm saying. I said the same thing, and you agreed. That's what you said. But that's the reason why I jumped in, because she said the exact same thing that I said, but you was pushing back in it. That's all I'm saying.
Can I address the prompt really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh
say
my
it.
goodness, please.
So single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. I actually agree.
Goodness.
Because I don't believe that there's anything that a man specifically brings to the house that the children are missing. Like even the government feels the same because around 1967, when men got on welfare, they actually got a helper. So they had a woman coming to their home and they were doing all of the domestic work for them while he was able to take a like a computer class or something. So yeah, when women go on welfare, if fathers were so important, why don't we get a daddy? Why don't we get like a fake husband? I don't know what he would do when he get there. Because what he gonna do? Like y'all stop talking loud over that TV? I don't know. But anyway, the government, they were giving out wife slaves to men who were on welfare with children, and they were able to go to school and live their life and become successful. So I don't think that there's a need in the home for fathers. Actually, when they are fathers in the home, they turn out to be misogynistic and they pass down a lot of harmful rhetoric. So that's all.
That's actually completely incorrect.
What's correct about it?
Well, studies shown that
Hold up,
single
real
fathers
quick.
as
Hold up,
opposed to
real
single.
quick, real quick. That's not how you. I think that might be. That happens all the time on the internet. People think they could just say study show and then make a point. That's not how you do that. You say you name the institution and you say based on their study, and then you give the statistical information. So
Okay,
like
based on the Better Census Bureau,
the who?
Better Census Bureau.
The,
You know what that is?
what did the Better Census Bureau do?
Well, I'm giving you the statistic. I'm about to give you a statistic. You asked me to cite the source.
Okay, I'm asking what they did and when did they do it?
Okay. Based on studies,
No, you went back to doing what you did before.
I can't even tell you the study. Like I said, this is why I can't even take
Gave
what
you
you're
a
doing
framework.
serious
No, I gave you a
because
template.
it is so disingenuous.
It's
And
not disingenuous.
well, do you want opinions or do you just want somebody to validate that you're right?
Hold up, let me show you real quick. See how Sagittarius went and got some information? We can either validate or debunk what she has on the screen. But she provided information, and I can see that she got this from an AI overview from a Google search. I can say, okay, hold up. I could say, okay, where did they get the information from, and how do we know it's valid? I could critique it, but you're just saying studies say, or you named a whole organization, the Better Business Bureau. Is that what you said?
I didn't say
Like,
better business. I
what did
said
you say?
census.
The Better Census Bureau. Okay. What did they do? When did they do it? And what was the conclusion from the data?
Yeah, because the Better Census Bureau is a broad. It's just
Yeah.
they do a bunch of different studies, so you have to be very specific on what study you're talking about.
The study as far as the
Hold up, hold up,
progression of
hold up,
children in single
hold up,
mother households.
Sagittarius actually have information on the screen. Go ahead, Sagittarius.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I studied in detail, but a simple Google search will tell you that no gender is better. If you actually go down the rabbit hole per se of actually studying it, you would look and you would see that when they said when they said that fathers were producing better children, they were talking about trad husbands who actually had money and took their wives to court to take their children. Black men would have never been included in that because the reason their children had better outcomes is due to resources. So that father, he necessarily didn't have to be home to raise the children, but he can afford tutors. He can afford after school programs. He can afford maybe a nanny. He had more resources than the woman. But, those studies were done back in like the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, where men were significantly making more money than women, and they were leaving them with nothing. So, of course, she doesn't have any resources. So her children might, fall into, slip through some cracks or something, depending on the area that they live in, right? But when they actually did a study where they were comparing single mothers to men who have the same amount of money and even to two parent households, the children were coming out the same. So it's based on resources and not gender.
I actually want to ask something, Sage, because resources in our society, my understanding is the higher education and attainment level you have, the more likely you are to have access to resources. First of all, is that accurate from your understanding?
Yes, because if
Okay.
you're more
Okay.
educated, you're going to make more money, obviously, right? And then you would know what to look for in an area. For instance, if you're wanting to move, you know to look for what type of school system is in the area, like what type of community resources are in the area, things like that. So, yes.
So, because Dorset specifically when to talk about the black community, if black women are more educated than black men in our community, would it then mean that the black women actually, because they have more access to those resources, have a better outcome with children, and maybe that would negate the point that he was making in the first place?
It actually would, yes. Because even if we look further into the studies, more women, more black women specifically, are employed in the workforce than black men. Also, like what he was quoting, as far as like where the numbers are, what men have children and what does not. Those studies did not include men who are unalived, and it also doesn't include men who have side babies or men who just never signed a birth certificate. There are songs about Papa being a Rolling Stone, leaving children everywhere he goes. But when we look at these studies, we should be able to understand that those things will play a role in why men aren't having like why men don't have children. And then when you look in real life and you see every goddamn man you know that you can throw a rock on that has children, whether he's in their life or not. So that study is a little screwed as well.
So, based on my thinking, I would reach the conclusion that women are more would be better off obtaining education opportunities they would just having access to the father.
Yes, because then once the father gets involved, I'll just say yes because that's nuances because we know what
You
kind of
went
drama
out.
comes with relationships. Oh no, I was about to say something else, but that's going to get too anecdotal and too nuances. But yes, on the high level, the women are better off just raising the children on their own as long as they make enough money. Because once the father comes in, a lot of times they're not even living the same lifestyle. You will hear men come and say, well, I have my children, but we live in a one bedroom. And then they get mad at the woman for wanting money to live like in a three bedroom or to live in a better neighborhood. They're asking why the mom needs money for all of that. So I think that fathers are optional, and I do think that a lot of times they actually bring down the family versus bringing it up because they're so cheap and they try to like circumvent and do everything the short way. So, but yeah, there's nuances. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I see that, and also I would just say that, like, I know for a fact that a lot of these men, especially the ones who adopt this traditional role of the man, what black men tend to get from white men, essentially that can cause them to be more harmful as far as being abusive in a household if he can't live up to that standard. That's why I was saying that. So I don't know how many black men do we have in our community who can be in that position. Dorset, you seem like you also had some information you wanted to share. I guess not. Thank you, Sage. That was a great point. I appreciate you.
Yeah, sure. I'll post a video for you guys so you can see the full video of where the fathers get wife slaves when they were on welfare and how they actually got some type of rehabilitation instead of just being told to just figure it out. They got some support. So I'll post that video in the Discord.
You do realize over 85% of single fathers don't even have the women on child support. Like, men don't even require anything from women who abandon their responsibilities. So
How's that relevant to the topic?
once you're just talking about the helping hand that men got for when they apply for welfare.
I'm asking you because, like, Sage made her point. Not only she provided the information where she got it from, but she tied it in with the topic about single mothers. You seem to be talking about single fathers, so I'm trying to see how does that relate to the topic.
Do you not? Didn't she? Once she's just talking about what men receive that
No, no, no,
welfare. She was talking
no,
about
no, no,
men,
sir.
not single
No,
mothers.
no, no,
Child,
no. I'm
child
asking you a
support also
specific question.
isn't welfare.
Yeah, but my specific question is, you're talking
That's
about
how
single
that's how I can
fathers,
tell how
sir,
disingenuous you are.
sir, sir. No, you're talking about single fathers. I'm asking you, how is that relevant to the topic that is
If I
specific
if I
to
just
single mothers?
responded to something she just said,
So you're referring to Sagittarius.
no, yeah,
Not
didn't she just
all you had
bring
to do.
up?
All you had to do is say I was referring to Sage, not the topic, sir. I was under the
It
impression that you
shows
was referring to the
it
topic.
shows the motive behind what you're saying. Like I said, it's disingenuous.
And what's the motive?
The objective of this conversation is not to hear others' perspective, is to validate or to belittle or devalue other and you say it has nothing to do with men or women, but recognize anybody that has a disagreement of you, how you approach the situation, not like a mature and adult.
But see,
You
you're not
approach it
disagreeing with me. Hold up, you're not disagreeing with me. I already asked for that clarification. You say you're disagreeing with
once
Sage.
that's how you respond, just like that.
So you're disagreeing with Sage.
Yeah, and if you want to go into that 85%, I'm sure if we look that 85% up, it's going to be YT trad husbands who it wouldn't make any sense to put their children's mother on child support because she doesn't have any money. Also, child support isn't welfare. You can be a billionaire and get child support. It's not welfare. Also, the average rate for the black male is about 45K a year.
And it's
So
lower for females.
yeah, for women, but
Yeah.
also it's about $33 a week lower, right? But also keep in mind these are women who are
No,
taking on
it's like
their
the average
children.
income for black women is a little above 30 grand.
It's a little more than that, but
It's a little above 30,000.
okay,
Sir,
whatever.
he
But
just
if
got
we're
a
look,
mama a
if we're looking at that, right, women are still about $33 a week off of black men, and also these are
No,
women
we're higher than that.
Mr. Dorset, please. These are also women who take maternity leave. These are women who call off of work when their child is sick. Meanwhile, black men's stats includes NFL players and basketball players. So, like, and then when we really look at it, if we were to take out those NFL players and those basketball players who are predominantly black men, well, not necessarily, but if we were to take that out, we would be making more than you.
Well, if we also was to include, because y'all quote things like right now black women are the most. They say y'all are the most educated, right? You're the most educated. Well, in all actuality, y'all the most enrolled, and y'all also the most in debt. Y'all the
And
first to get
the
evicted.
road and the
Y'all,
most in debt and the fattest. Like,
y'all are the
we can
most
go
in
one to
debt.
one.
Y'all the
You know
biggest
why, Mr.
consumers,
Dorsey?
and
I
y'all.
wanted to ask him.
You know why I'm gonna say? You know why I'm gonna mute you? Because we can go one to one. Y'all bring up these stats about women as if we're not black, as if we're not in a racially charged society. Just like y'all
Playing the
fat like
victim.
us, y'all broke like
Playing the
us, but
victim.
Hold
we
on,
own more
Dorset.
houses than y'all. So
Hold on, real quick. Eureka wanted to say something.
And him saying, I want to say something else with the fact that he talking about we playing the victim. So then black men play the victim. They play the race card every time they get convicted at the race. They get convicted at the race that they are unemployed, at the race that they are undereducated. So I guess they're playing the victim. But touche, bitch, touche. The thing that's
I
interesting
said
is
she's
black
playing the
women.
victim, not me.
No, but what black men are too.
Well, talk about black men. I was talking about her.
Okay, well, black men do. She was talking about women. She wasn't talking about herself. She was talking about black
She's
women.
playing the victim right now.
She
I'm
was
not
talking
up
about
here
black.
saying, "Oh yeah, we got to do this."
Okay, anyway. So the thing is, if black women are so negative and everything is so wrong with them, then just date out. Let black men just date out. Black men need to date other women. They need to leave. If they are only 60, if it's only 25% of them who are making all these babies and being deplorable human beings and going to prison and unaliving everybody on the block, then the rest of y'all can just simply date out. Why would you date black women? Leave black women alone. It's not worth talking to us. It's not worth talking about us. Y'all are so desirable, so educated, so paid, so this, so that. Just date women of your caliber.
If you be honest with yourself, would you really believe? I mean, would you really say that there's more complaints towards black men dating white women, or is it?
No, it doesn't matter what we think, because if we cared what you thought, then we wouldn't have babies and
Then
we
why
wouldn't
y'all
be so
complaining about us?
problematic.
Why
So
y'all
don't worry
complaining
about it.
about us dating white women? We
No,
ain't
nobody
complaining about y'all
cares.
dating white men.
we're not. We're not.
So hold
Oh,
on, y'all.
y'all the ones
So
that
So
let's
hold
complain about us.
on.
hold up.
So he's deflecting. So he don't want to sit with that because the simple answer is just date out. Nobody said YT women. It could
Are
be
y'all talking
whoever.
about Serena Williams or Shannon
Hold up,
Sharp?
sir. Hold up, sir.
Hold on, Chase.
All
I'm
I'm
gonna let
saying
him
is,
go ahead.
all I'm saying is, don't worry about if we complain about it. Just do it. Who cares? Why why every time there comes a situation where you can be accountable, you still can't even be accountable for choosing to date somebody else? You got to blame black women. Everything that you've said up here has been to blame black women. So even when I'm saying, okay, well then just don't worry about black women. Date somebody else. Black women are such a problem. You want to blame black women for complaining about who you date as a reason why you can't do it? Like y'all, black men don't have to do. Like y'all not responsible for any of your actions. You can't even
Is that
take it
really
upon
coming from a
yourself.
woman?
Hold up,
Y'all,
Dorset. Go ahead, Lisa.
He crashing
y'all
out.
enjoy
He don't want
enjoy
to.
your night, bitter women.
Okay,
Oh, that
Dorset.
really hurt him. Okay, all right,
Hey,
licking the booty, sir.
ladies
All
and
right,
everyone here, I was wondering if
okay.
I could just.
Go ahead, Dorsey. Go on, leave and get the cock that you want. Go ahead. Go on, leave. He's still up here.
Maybe
I
he's
was
trying to figure out
wondering.
how to leave. What's up, Free? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, so I was just thinking about something. I was looking at the title of this: "Single Mothers Are Proof That Fathers Are Optional." In society, I believe personally that it takes two parents to raise children properly, like give them the best chance possible. And I don't think that, and I understand that in culture today, it's more beneficial for single mothers to stay single because the government will provide more benefits. I get that, totally
Hold
understand.
up. Hold up. Are you saying that the government provides more benefits than the father would?
I'm saying that the government makes it more advantageous for
No, no,
single
no, no,
mothers to
no,
be
no, no.
single.
You said more benefits. So you saying that a woman who gets benefits from the government is going to get more benefits than she would if the father was there?
If you had a father that was an actual father that wanted to be there to take care of the family, then no, that'd be different.
So
But
you contradicted yourself.
no, I'm not contradicting
No,
myself.
you just said, sort of, sir. You just
Mhm.
said that the woman would get more from the government. So if you say more, that means she's getting more than she would the actual father.
Yes, because
So now
unfortunately,
you're
black.
saying, sir, so
Yes,
that was a contradiction.
just let me just hear me out. I understand. I'm not here to attack anybody.
I'm not saying that.
Um,
I'm just trying to make sure you're saying that black men are being priced out by the government.
Yes, I am saying that they are being priced out by the government because of a lot of the stuff that you were saying, such as, the traditional black man does not want to stay with the wife. They want to leave. And it's become more normalized for black men to do that. It's become more normalized for black men not to lead their families, not to stick around, not to raise their children. And it's basically everything that's been put on the single
So just
mother.
real
Hmm.
quick,
Yes, ma'am.
my background does not say black men, right? Because the rate of single mothers is increasing for all demographics, not just black women. But
Of
keep
course.
going.
Yeah, totally understand. But just speaking solely on minorities. Now, the thing is to answer the question, it says single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. I don't believe personally, with the values that I've been raised with, that fathers are ever optional. I think fathers are mandatory just as much as mothers are. I think that they're 100% emphatically equal. I think the problem is that society. I think that I I hate to say it this way, but I think that the Democratic Party has made it so easy for dads not to be
No,
dads.
that's that real quick before you go to the politics, right?
Just a little
If
bit.
the men collectively believe that the father is more beneficial to be in a home, why are men not choosing to be in a home?
Because society is telling the majority of these individuals
Who is
that
society for? Who is society?
uh, the Democratic Party is telling fathers and making it. Mhm.
Cersei.
Yep.
So this is not a political conversation. As interesting as you want to go there, right? Nobody's going to do the Democrat Republican thing with you. It's weird that you keep doing that. I'm not sure what corner of the internet you think you are in. Okay, but my
Okay. Hey,
question
look.
is,
I totally, I
sir,
totally, I totally apologize. Yes.
sir.
Yep. Go ahead.
No need to
Sorry.
apologize. I just nipped it in the bud. Let it be nipped. The thing is, if men are saying that it is more beneficial for them to be in a home, why not be in a home? Because my prompt is basically telling women who are already single mothers, the fathers have already left. But if the father's left, you can still raise successful children.
And you know what? That's true. You still can raise successful children. I totally agree with
So
it.
you
But
agree? Wait,
I do agree
why is
with
there
that.
a but?
I just think that um, if your point of reference is to motivate and encourage women that they can do it on their own, then I totally understand that.
That's not what I'm saying, sir.
So you're not like encouraging
No,
women
no, no,
that may
no.
be
I'm not
struggling.
encouraged. No, no, no. What I'm saying is the men's behavior has proven that they're not necessary. Men have men have done it. Men have proven to women that they are not needed in a home.
They
I mean, it,
also used to be harmful in the home as well. So that's why a lot of women opt out of having a father in the home. But I did
no,
want to ask Free,
yeah,
what do
sorry.
you think happens when a child doesn't have a father in the home? What do you think happens?
I believe that child, well, depending on what kind of child, I mean, male or female, whatever the case, but I will speak for males. When you grow up in a home that does not have a dad, then you turn into a child that typically cannot control your emotions. And basically, the reason why that is because if you have a woman in the home that is a feminine woman, it's very hard to raise a masculine man who knows how to protect and knows how to provide for women because the mom is essentially filling that role. So it's a huge issue. And that's why in, let's say, the minority communities, because there's a lack of fathers willing to be fathers, you have so many children that are being raised without emotions.
And what's happening with them?
They're going out and they're causing a lot of violence and destruction. A man that cannot control his emotions is a very
Okay, real quick,
dangerous man.
sir. Hold up. Men, all right, so you're saying these emotional violent men, right? You're
hmm
saying that men are getting that from women, not other men. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that a lack of men. So I'm not necessarily, I'm saying that a lack of men is where it's coming from.
Yeah, I'm just curious because here's the thing, right? Men are more likely to be violent. You're saying that the lack of a father is going to make the child more violent, even though men are more violent.
Yes, absolutely, 100%
That
emphatically.
makes complete sense to you.
Yes, because men are the ones
No,
that teach
sir.
their children how to regulate their emotions. It's not women, I'm sorry.
How do you teach? Okay, how did you learn how to regulate your emotions from a man? What
Because
did
I,
they
I
teach
had
you?
because I had a dad and I had a mom. My dad was the
No.
disciplinary individual.
Sir,
hmm
specifically, what did your father say to you to teach you how to regulate your emotions?
I mean, growing up the way that I am 41, I was spanked, So
So
anytime I
hold
didn't
up,
do
spanking, which there's overwhelming empirical data that says spanking leads to PTSD, anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. You believe that is what teaches emotional regulation.
so, you
You
know,
think by being hold up, you think
mhm.
by your father being violent, someone who's in contrast, their size is way larger than yours, putting their hands on you is what taught you emotional regulation.
It's definitely a part of that. It's also,
Okay,
love
so
and consistency.
pause.
hmm
Because I just said there's overwhelming empirical data state that that is false. So the problem is maybe you're suffering from the cognitive decline because you're not well informed on that topic to make that statement.
Okay, so let's just look at society in general, right? The majority of teens,
We
the
don't have to,
majority.
sir, we don't
hmm
have to look in society in general. There's overwhelmingly empirical data. Are you aware what empirical data is? We
No,
don't
I
have to just
totally,
make generalizations from society.
I,
Okay,
I
so we can
totally
actually look at
understand.
the data. The data says you're wrong. That is overwhelmingly. There's empirical data, metadata, peer review data, longitudinal studies that state that what you said is incorrect. What you want to
Okay,
then
so
say, because
so
sir,
question,
sir,
can are teens,
sir,
are
pause,
children
sir,
as
pause,
okay,
sir. It's
you
the
go on
cognitive
with the
decline. It's the
cognitive.
cognitive
Oh my
decline,
God.
sir. Pause, sir. You then wanted to make a general statement based on your level of ignorance and your distorted perception of society and say that this would teach emotional regulation when you sir do not know what you're talking about. It's simple as that. You don't know what you're talking about. So what you're saying is that the fathers can teach emotional regulation by using corporal punishment on children, but the data says that it does the opposite. So by what you're saying, the father is causing damage and does not need to be in a home.
Actually, that's what you're saying. I'm saying that some
I'm saying
fathers
it
have
based on
actually.
empirical data, sir. You're
Okay,
saying it
well,
based on
who who's
assumption you
who's
have
in
made.
whose empirical data is that based on? Because there is a generation of fathers, there's a generation of men that were spanked and that were disciplined, and they do
Yeah,
know how to run their families.
that
And it's
same
not
generation,
it's
sir.
not the
That
same.
same
I can
generation,
guarantee you, no one
sir,
no one took the
sir,
empirical data for
sir,
me.
sir. That same generation lacked mental health resources, sir. Going to a therapist before like the early 2000s was a lot of people did not have access to it. Today is more accessible. You're talking about a
Yeah, and
generation who had ample mental health issues, sir. That's what you want to go off of? You want to go off of a generation who were raised by fathers who came back from the war, sir?
oh my
The
God.
hell? Are you zip tying the body? What the hell was that? That was
I'm
crazy.
crying.
Hey madam, you can go ahead.
Hey, love.
Cops, sir. Call the
Again,
cops. Go ahead.
thank you for letting me up. It's crazy about him stating that help men with emotional regulation when we know that you guys are unaliving yourselves at an alarming rate. So obviously there is some mental and emotional regulation that is not happening between men. I did want to come up here because it is Mother's Day, and I wanted to shout out my single mother. I did have an active father, but I lived with my mom. My mother was the head of my household. She only had one child. And when I say this woman went to school, this woman worked. She was able to come to my school events. Yeah, she worked, and I had to cook early, and I had to learn how to help my mommy out. But she was an amazing mother. She's still an amazing mother. And honestly, she has a better lifestyle than my father, who are both single. My mom is single and my father is single, but I had to move his ass from the city to upstate New York to take care of him because his health is declining. My mom has a girls trip planned in August. So definitely I give a shout out to the strong single mothers that are out there, especially on Mother's Day. You will not hear me talking bad about a mother on Mother's Day, not with the mothers that I have seen. I do understand when they state that fathers are optional, especially if you are a damaged man. You're just coming around to, like we just heard, you're not really adding, you're giving more, toxicity and trauma to the child, to the woman. Sometimes the woman is better off by herself. I know that my mother waited a very long time to date. Once I got to college, she started dating. She did have one relationship while I was younger, and he had a son. And check this out. His son went into law enforcement underneath my mom, because my mom is a captain. So she was able to basically, not on paperwork, adopt this annoying person who's a grown man now, who also moved upstate where me and my mother are, not where his father and mother are at, because he just fell in love with my mom at 7 years old, and he's never left our side since. So shout out to all the strong single mothers out there, the nurturers, the providers, and those who never miss a beat. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Aiden. And let me just state that none of the men are arguing the point that if you have daughters, the father is not necessary. Apparently, so like just so you know, apparently these conversations are all about fathers wanting access to the sons, which is very interesting because when they say that children more likely to be in the prison system, especially with the black community, we see that demographically overwhelmingly is black men. So apparently, like the daughters are safe. Just so y'all know, the daughters, if you have daughters and the fathers aren't around, apparently you don't even need to be worried with this conversation. But I will argue that they cause harm to the sons. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody to argue against that because the men who were here ran off for some reason, which is the problem in the first place. Too many men are running off on their own children, and they're not doing the work. So again, because the men are running off, they're proving in real time they're not necessary to raise the kids. Y'all can go ahead and respond if y'all want.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm guessing I know why people don't read stats, but two-parent households produce 40% of prisoners. And the other part is not single mothers. The other part would be like foster care, single fathers. Single mothers would be included in there too, but it's other things. So the majority of prison stakeholders, the ones that got a room at the prison, they come from two-parent households. And also it's weird
Yeah.
how
Just
it's
just a side note, real quick. We just real quick. I just want to say that we actually had a man who came from a two parent household get arrested on a live, like literally on a live. He got arrested. So, I just wanted to add that in there. Go ahead.
Mhm. Go ahead, madam.
Nah, I was just commenting like that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I have seen it where you see people who grew up in two-parent households and you try to figure out how did you take this turn. You know what I mean? It's not the two-parent household that is important. It is the healthy parents that are important, healthy environment that is important, the family support that is important. Sometimes just having that title, you can have a title and be so focused on, that man and that woman that y'all are doing toxic things to keep one another, and the children are just digesting it. Nobody ever talks about that perspective. And trust, I have seen it and definitely understand People with two parents get arrested. I'm in New York. I see it left and right. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter. It's nature versus nurture that also plays a part. A lot of times when they do the statistics, they don't look at the fact that a lot of men don't claim their kids. I'm just saying, like, if they're not living in the house with that child, it's hard to actually get a man. If you don't want to be responsible and not claim your kids, they're not accounting for those either. Those men who don't want to take accountability or, pick up their responsibility, and they're just fleeing from these women. There's a lot of birth certificates that are unsigned, and these men have children, and they're just not being accounted for. Because when I looked on that, like, what was it, Black demographics, they were throwing around TikTok for a while. If you went down to the bottom of it and they basically summarized the statistics, it was stating that a lot of men within the community are not claiming their children, unfortunately. So they couldn't get a fair count on men who had children versus women who had children, which would make up for that 10 to 15% that they state that we're ahead.
That's interesting. I just want to also add that if you, because it sounds like all this is about the resources. The men are coming with like this rhetoric of discipline, but based on like even with the guy who jumped down, stating that like corporal punishment, you do not need a man to be in your home to whoop your kid's ass. That's not discipline. That's abuse. Okay, it's just flat out abuse. If you need support, if you need access to more resources, you're more likely to be successful if you could find other women who are single mothers who you can work out some type of schedule around childcare. You can get night outings, somebody who actually like you can maybe share responsibility with cooking with the kids and providing for the kids. I just think you'll fare out much better in that situation. You go to school during some days, you go to school the other days. Like it's not given. The men are not given a good enough argument why they should be there. All they're saying is, if I'm not here, your children are going to go in prison. And I don't know about y'all, but like prison has never been in the cards for my child. Like I don't even have that conversation. Like we're not even discussing prison. There's no activities leading to prison. Like I'm not sure what type of livelihood these men are living, where they're coming from, where like prison is always on the table for them. But no, like you don't even have to talk. Like I don't want a man around my child and then saying, well, I'm here to keep you out of prison. That sounds very dangerous to me.
The way that these men want access, when I be hearing it on these TikTok streets and saying, you need a man, especially like to women who have children, I be like, what do you want her just to put some random man inside of her home? Or what do you want them just to marry anybody? Do you know the danger that she's putting herself in and her children? These women are being smart. They're having discernment. They're being selective as they should. They're enjoying their babies. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing like your mom loving you and saying, I choose you because I don't want to put you in chaos. Trust and believe that is returned to you once they become adults. My mother doesn't have to want for anything. It's a text. It's a hachu. And I'm over her house. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning. What you need me to do? Because I'm always owe that to her because she was an amazing mother and she never put anything before me. I don't understand what these men want. And then you get women who grow up with all these extra traumas attached to them. Why? Because mama couldn't be alone. Mama always had to have a new boyfriend because, if not, she's not protected. Like, come on. Or your child's not going to go to jail because it's better for like the nuclear family. And this is how the structure of a family should be. Listen, pray, have discernment, practice discipline. Everybody will be all right. I don't think it's that serious on how they try to make it. Like there has to be a man in the house. Knowing the conviction rates of men, I don't get it. And I'm not even giving that a race.
I mean, the men are the discipline argument. They lost that one. But if it's the money is the resource, another option is make sure that the man is on child support. You can still provide. He can still provide for the household. He don't need to be there. Mm-hmm. Apparently, because the guy said earlier, like the government is pricing the men out. The government are the best baby fathers. I'm gonna tell you. Like the government will make sure that man pays. So go to the government. You can get a pro bono lawyer, get your child support. And he can provide the way you need him to provide. I don't know. I'm not getting the need for the man to be in the household. I just don't hear it. I mean, I don't know if y'all heard it, but I didn't hear it.
No, it's really no need. If we're looking at, because they love to say that women are the ones who are harming the children, right? Which is true. Who else is going to harm the children? The mother has access to them. But when we look statistically at what men do, men not only harm their own children, they harm everyone else's children. So, like that argument, you can't even bring that one out because men harm everyone who they're next to. Also, you have to think about the rates where these fathers are touching their own children who are their blood, and the conviction rate for grape is the lowest. There's no there. That's the any for any crime. Grape is the lowest. And if you try to, go convict them, they're going to put you on trial or the whomever was touched, a child. So, for safety issues, men should not, men are not a priority in the home because they're not protecting the kids either.
Yeah, and that's
Um.
for me. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was
And that's for me. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was trying. I said because my thought didn't load, but go ahead.
No, but because what I'm saying, those are risk factors. Different types of abuse, that's a risk factor. Like, and it's like you have to understand by having this man there, there's a risk factor, and you have to weigh: is it worth my child potentially being essayed, or physically abused, mentally abused? Like, it's not given. And when they say like women tend to be more abusive, I get that. Take parenting classes. Go get parenting classes. But like I said, if you have a strong support community of other women who can support each other, a lot of that what they fail to say is that a lot of that is due to the stress that's put onto this woman who then has to raise that child on her
Yes.
own.
Family support. That's why I said it's the family support that's really important, because if you're doing something like me myself, I'll put myself on the line. If when my child was younger, say if I yelled too much or like I was in a mood, my mom would be like, you know what? Let me take her. Go through what you have to go through and, have your day. And that was so much, something so little. Like, you know what I mean? Just having family resources, her dad and, his sisters more. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he's the only boy. Oh, we got her. Those type of things. It's a lot for a mom to like, okay, I can breathe. But then there are certain moms who do not have that support. They just don't have that family support. So they get frustrated. You know what I mean? So, but they need someone around to say, sis, there's another way of doing this.
Yeah,
So the
because
village is very important. Like, like let's gather together and figure out how, maybe he needs to be in a sport. Maybe she just is trying to express herself, but she needs a better way of expressing it. I told one of my friends, it's because of how you speak. She speak like you. And she was like, yo, I had to check myself. There you go. Little things like that. You know what I mean? Like,
You got to be really careful with the sports too. Apparently, there's a lot of predators who are being the coaches
oh,
of
I,
these teams. If you decide that
oh,
your child is going to be in a sports team, they need to be heavily surveillance. If they got to go out of town and you can't be there, then they
not
don't
a
need to.
who? Oh, listen, love. I'm not that parent. I am everywhere with mine. Trust and believe. That's why I don't be understanding how things be happening at these sports events, because everywhere my child is, I'm right there, right next to her, like yay. So I don't understand how you don't see where your child is at a sports
Well,
event, because I'm supporting mine. I'm cheering on mine. You
yeah,
know
I
what I
brought
mean? So
I brought that
no.
one up because apparently some of these men, because if they have like championships, they may take the kids, they'll take them for like a week to another state or something and stay in a hotel. But there's been incidents of men hiring like SW to come and do inappropriate things with children. So I say like, just because he seems to be like this male figure, that doesn't mean it's safe either.
I'll say this because I said it on another panel. I definitely know exactly what you're speaking on. I will not, I get that. I definitely get that. When I was younger, I was in a dance team, like, like how they do the parades in the city. I was a baton girl. I started when I was 4 years old. So being in this group or whatever the case may be, I'll make it quick. The older girls, you would see that they would get certain attention from the main counselor because he ran the program, but they were teen girls. So, being young, you're like, oh, they cool. They the cool girls. So I'm moving up and moving up and moving up. When I got about 15, 16 years old, somehow I ended up in the front as one of the flag girls. Now I'm getting my little body. I'm getting my little shape. the counselor, I'm 16, he gives me his chain. It's like going towards the summer. So he gives me his chain. Somehow it became the chain, and then I was like chilling in his car. So I'm thinking that I'm like Miss Cutesy, whatever the case may be. Somehow we kind of like lost track, whatever the case may be. He reaches out to me and he goes, "Hey, yo, I need my chain back." I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." He was like, "I'll be downstairs in your building." I'm 16 years old. I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll come down and I'll bring you your chain back." Because this is something that just randomly happened after practice. This is how he used to act with all the girls. So I'm thinking this is just, he cool. Why did I go downstairs to meet him? He somehow, we were talking. He was like, "Yo, come here. Let me talk to you real quick." So we went into like the hallway. Into the staircase. Why did that man get down on one knee and present me with a ring and sat there and was like how he wanted to marry me? I was 16. That man had to be about 32 years old. I ran up 9 flights of stairs. He had to chase me at least 4. I was still a V card. So I felt like when I look back on it, it was like, was he trying to make like a false promise, trying to get other things involved? Was that why I was moving up the ranks? Because I was an okay dancer, but I wasn't that good. You know what I mean? So definitely, it's true.
Now that's been a big conversation since the Shannon Sharp thing, about all these men apparently, who grown ass men say they will pursue 18-year-olds, and I always say, anybody who want to pursue an 18-year-old because they're legal would also pursue a 16-year-old, will also pursue a 14-year-old, will also pursue a 12-year-old. And a lot of these men are predators, and that goes back to like that's a risk factor. This man, whether it's child or not, could potentially essay the child.
Yeah, yo, it's so
Hold
real,
on, real
and
quick.
you're
Hold on,
right.
let's say it go.
Oh, I'm gonna also drop down. I'm getting sleepy. But one of the other things, like, um whereas we always have to have a man in our lives, that leads to women staying in abusive relationships because it's considered coercion. So you're hearing it from the church: "Oh, you need to stay with your husband, you need to do this and that." And the moment we get on this panel, they would ask, "Well, where your man at?" They don't even know. I could have just left an abusive person who tried to unalive me and my children. Y'all asking where that man at, right? So we have this pressure to always have a man in our life, even after we escape from him, or that's so confusing for women. That's why it's so hard when people say, "Hey, well, why didn't you just leave? Why do you think?" Thanks, y'all, for the gifts. Thanks, Tara. Like, why do you think she didn't leave? She could not leave. One, because they would trap her with children or financially, and then the other is like how you would look to society. There was times people were terrified of becoming a single mother. So they endured all of these things out of becoming a single mother. So they endured all of these things. Like, they know that the men were touching the children. They knew that he was knocking her head between the refrigerator and the stove. They knew that he was going to sit up under a tree when he was supposed to be at work. But you have society telling you that if you don't have a man, your kids are gonna go to the pokey. So it's just a weird form of coercion. That word always eat me up, to like keep us with men, and it is not advantageous to our safety. But a lot of stuff we have to do for appearance, and that's why a lot of women end up either unalive, or when she leaving, she tell a story about how it took her 7 years. People be asking why, and that's why.
I definitely agree. I've seen somebody on TikTok tell a woman who stated that she had to run away from her children's father to go back because who's going to want her because she has 4 kids with him. I was like, what? She said, "I moved to another state to get away from this man." And the guys on the panel, they were like eating her up, like, "You ran away with his kids." Da, da, da. And she was like, "Well, he hit me." "Oh, well, that's nothing to do with the kids, though." What?
It
I
actually has
jumped
a
on
lot
that.
to do with it.
I jumped on that panel so fast, like, "Ma'am, please don't go back and don't listen to these men." But yeah, it has a lot to do with the children. You're more than right, Sag.
Because if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like the children. So a lot of times, black women, children are being unalive with them, or they'll do it in front of the children because they really don't care or like the children. So yeah, if you have children, it's important for you to leave because they become victims too.
Yeah, and the men are more obsessed with the relationship between you and him than he is being a father to those kids. There
Amen.
are plenty of women because apparently when the men come together and make groups, they talk about essay. It's crazy, but women come together in groups. They actually talk about the best practices for raising children. And you can see women who share messages from their like I mean screenshot of fathers who are like, "Hey, I'll come see the kids if I can be with you." Yeah, I'll get the kids. Where you gonna be at? I'm gonna come at the house. Like, oh, they can't come over here. You want to be laid up with that man? Like the men are obsessed with the woman. Somebody actually stated that earlier in the comments, talking about like, well, y'all not doing your jobs as wives. Their concern is not the children. That's why in the household, women end up doing the majority of the child care. Men are just doing enough to stay in the home. They're not actually disciplining the way they claim they're disciplining these kids. They just want to be there for you. You will see men who will abandon their biological children and raise stepchildren with a woman because he has access to that woman in her body.
Yep.
That is so true.
My daughter's graduation is like on the one of these days coming up, and her dad texts me and he asked if he can stay with me, and I told him how he got me off up and all that. He gonna try to send me a picture of himself, so I sent the bigger picture back to him of a male phallus. But like he hasn't seen my daughter in years, but the only thing he's concerned with, he's supposed to be coming here to celebrate her. The only thing he's concerned with is laying up in my bed with me. And that's weird.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
that's what they're doing. They're lying. They are finding because when women have more autonomy, they're less likely to stay with a man, especially one who's not bringing any value to our life. The men are lying and say, "Well, you need me for the children. I need to be in the house." When actually, he just want to be there to have access to that woman. He don't give a fuck about them children because the one thing they can't answer why the men leave in the household. Like the men are abandoning their children. They don't give a fuck about the kids. They're leaving one set of children to go have other sets of children to have other sets of children. They don't give a fuck about the children. And even when the man is with someone, he'll find another woman to help him take care of the children when they come over his house. If he doesn't have someone, then those kids end up with the grandmother. But the reality is they're not there to take care of the damn kids. They're there trying to get coochie. That's what all this comes down to. It's a bunch of gaslighting and lies because men want coochie. They don't give a fuck about raising children.
The
Matter of fact,
grandmother is
when they bring
crazy.
it up, ask them, huh?
No, I was
You
saying
said
the
what?
grandmother is crazy because that's real news. That grandmother on the guy's side is real news. That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of women are arguing with the grandmother on the father's side about like what's going on because like the fathers are dependent heavily on their mothers to help them raise the kids, and that's crazy. What's up, DeWiz?
Yo, y'all invited me up. I don't know why. I'm in the
I
comments.
don't know who invite. Okay,
But
hold up, pause. I didn't invite you up. Do you want to add something to the conversation? If not, you ain't had to come up here.
no, somebody invited me up.
All right, so you accept it as if you had something to say, or you just what? What's going on?
Oh no, my bad. You right.
All right,
Bye.
peace out. Have a good one. Take care. Anyways, Drika, you still there? Drika out being celebrated as a mother, y'all. Shout out to Drika.
Shout out to me.
I'm
Barely
gonna be
here.
I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna say good
Happy
night
Mother's
because
Day.
I might
Thank
drop,
you.
might fall asleep. So
I'm not gonna
y'all
be
have a
here.
good night.
I'm not gonna be here all night. I'm doing movie night with my son. We're gonna spend quality time together. But it's fine. Go ahead, Drika.
It was a couple things that I've noticed, and you touched on it because yeah, it is true. It's about their access to women. And whenever the dude, who I was trying to challenge about whether black men, since y'all want to censor y'all stuff and make it about y'all, then just leave and find another person to date. He's the one who made the comment about like single mothers are celebrated more than wives are because to them it's about this performance and they know that they're not doing anything as it relates to the children, like actually raising the children. This idea of them being a disciplinary It's just them coming in, yelling at the children or giving a face because the children do not interact with them on a consistent basis. We have we know that there is, I'm gonna do like him, there are studies that show that children behave more like children with people they're comfortable with. If they're not comfortable with you, then they're going to behave in a quote unquote well behaved way because they don't know you, they don't feel safe with you. So a father walking into a room with children who don't know him, of course they're gonna shut up. They don't know what's going on with you. You're a stranger and stranger danger. So that would make sense. But I always find it funny that if fathers are so important, um, like my question would be, why do y'all leave y'all children with mothers then? Why why do y'all keep leaving them with women? And then of course their argument is it's only 5 men who populating the whole wide world. But if that's the case, then if and they're speaking specifically to black women, I'm assuming that stat he gave where it's like 25% of black men who are getting all these black women pregnant. Either y'all need to stop leaving your children with the mother who is doing a horrible job, who is not able to help them regulate their emotions, who is causing them to get incarcerated and get into trouble. Then why are more men not taking custody of their children? Like I would never understand that. They should just take custody of their children.
That's true. And also, I want y'all to remember that the black men are saying that 20% of them are dope boys. I didn't know the number was that high, but just keep that in mind next time you're having a conversation with these black men and they want to say about how women need to have discernment and it's worth picking through them. That apparently 20% of black men are out on the corner selling the DRUGI. So y'all be very careful with these men. That's 20. What do you say? 25%?
25.
Yeah, 1 in 4. So 1 in 4 black men are out on the corner selling the DRUGS. So y'all be careful out here. That's a very high percentage.
Yeah, that was scary too, because it's like I always wonder what they saying. Like, what are they actually trying to say? Like, so women are choosing these bad men and they're making the men bad, even though men are the disciplinaries. It's like, what role do men actually have? Like, if men do behaviors to get women that women are in control of, then what do men have control of? Because they're saying that if women are attracted to men who sell candy, so men pretend to sell candy or hang around men who sell candy to get access to women because that's what women like. And women are teaching other women, no, women are teaching men and women to be with men who sell candy. Then what are the men doing? It seems like they are being like held hostage. It seems like, but because they talk about black men, it seems like black men are being made to sell candy by the CIA. Then the welfare black women are telling other black men that they need to sell candy if they want to get access to women, and the women only like them if they sell. Like, it is weird. It's getting strange.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major conspiracy.
And I've been trying to get clarification this whole time. Apparently, they don't have the clarification for that either.
Clearly, they don't.
Add
But
this
hey,
because
Flash.
I do have to. I'm sorry, I do have to drop down. I just wanted to add this. I totally agree. It's like a walking contradiction on these TikTok streets when you gather up all the information and you see it, because it's like, one, y'all never give the statistics for the NBA or the NFL. Kevin Durant and LeBron James was both raised by single mothers. They always give the negative sides, but not the positive outcomes. And I really wish that we stopped doing that as a community. But it comes mostly from the men. It's like more women that you hear that say, we're not a monolith. We don't all act the same. Where it seems like the men are kind of on one accord. Once in a while, you'll find that needle in the haystack, and they need to get it together, because the accountability should be on both sexes. But it seems like it's heavily more on the women than it is the men, especially on these TikTok streets. But peace, love, and understanding, and I wish you the moon and the stars. Thank you for letting me
All right.
up.
Yeah, I
Good
appreciate
night.
that. That is interesting. A lot of their heroes was raised by single women.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
That's the
Flashy.
ever heard. Oh my god, bro. Y'all be
Damn,
blowing
Flashy,
me.
you ain't even speak. I ain't talked to you in a month of
Nah.
Sunday.
Bro, cause they be banning my ass, bro. I swear. I would just have my live with jumping, and I ain't gonna. I had to end that live though, cause I ain't gonna. They started annoying me.
Oh, they banned you? Oh.
Man, yeah, I got my shit back though. But nah, I had to hit that Franklin. You know how Franklin don't be letting nobody know he just end that shit. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that shit be fun. I be ending the live giving no warning. I remember the first time I was getting on live,
Real
I
quick,
was
we're
trying.
gonna be on. Hold up. We talking about the topic, or you came here to vent?
He ain't even
Oh
talk about
shit,
the topic.
damn, my bad. So we gonna act like I wasn't saying what y'all were talking about was stupid, and then Mia started talking about. I haven't seen. Hey, we ain't gonna talk about that.
I
But
just
anyway,
spoke. I mean, we know each other's way. I want to speak
it's
before we disagree.
You
I
feel
just be
okay.
like you
I
liking
gotta
to
was
tell the whole
speak.
story.
cause I was about to
So,
tell the whole story. God damn, this ain't a safe space to tell the whole story. God damn, can't
mm-mm.
Apparently
shutting
not.
a, shutting a melanated brother down. That's crazy.
Oh my
But
Mm.
no,
God.
I think the topic of the proof in LeBron James being raised by a single mother is not proof. I don't. It's like you fail to realize that he had good male role models around him, like his coaches and like you guys fail to act like there's
So
men
hold
in the
up.
Navy.
You don't think that children of single mothers are around other men? You think that like single children of single mothers are just around women all the time? You don't think they go to school and play on
I
sports teams?
promise you. I promise you, I did not say that. I don't even think I implied that. I don't know where you got that
That's
part
what it
from.
sounds like.
Because you're saying single mothers are proof that fathers are optional. No, they're not optional at all. Like a child needs
You
their
just
father.
said you just said LeBron James had coaches and mentors. You didn't say he had his father. Apparently, they just need coaches and mentors.
Okay, if we're gonna go by that logic, okay, I would agree. If they have good male role models and go male figures, yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. That's valid. But but
Let's just acknowledge that. Okay, make sure that
yeah,
like
no, you're right.
if
If
the
there's
father's
good
not
male role
necessary.
models,
The
they're good.
father doesn't. The father doesn't have to be there. As long as the children have access to positive role models in society, not just men and women, and they're around people who care about them and don't want to exploit them and abuse them, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, I could agree to that. Same thing can be said with the woman. But I will give you that. That's so easy. I would easily concede to that. As long as they have a good male role. But the thing is, right? As long as they have a good male role. But the thing is, right? The child is still gonna be like lost without a father, because every child always wants to know who their father is, even if he is a piece of, you know,
So the
piece
child
of.
can know who their father is. Got it.
Mm, it's a little more complicated than that, but to
I mean,
But
that's
simplify.
just
isn't that it? But isn't that in itself like something that happens socially, that children are desperate to know their fathers, even though the fathers are choosing to be absent? Like
Yeah, I agree.
that is a social construct, meaning like the way media and the way the propaganda is that fathers of these are overly inflated, because if fathers are so important, why do they keep leaving at the rate that they leave?
Okay, matter of fact, let me ask Tara. Is it okay for me to expand on what she just said exactly about the whole fathers of leaving thing, or stick to the actual prompt? Because then on
I
this
mean,
your platform.
we was already in a conversation.
What you mean? So
Go
stick to the
ahead.
actual prompt.
Go ahead. No, you can respond. It's up to you.
Okay.
Like it's a conversation.
I'm just asking. This your. I don't want to make this the flashy show. You know, it's your shit. I gotta respect your. You feel me? But not this whole concept of fathers be leaving. I don't know where the fuck that gets like that comes from, because like in modern time, there's not that many guys that are breaking relationships. Like there's guy like for an example, if a guy cheats on the woman, right? That's not him walking away. That's not him leaving. He definitely did. Damn, Mia, turn your mic off.
Oh, help me, Sarah.
I got you.
Yeah, goddamn. But yeah, so when women keep saying fathers are leaving the home, it's like that's not even a thing for real. Like, because like women are the ones that literally break up relationships, like they end it. And I'm not saying that their reasons for breaking up the relationship is not justified. Like if a man cheated or a man put his hand on her, like I get it, it's justified, but it doesn't. But that woman shouldn't be out here saying that man left. No, you put him out, which you should have, which is valid, but
Then it should be a co-parenting situation.
it should. But the concept of
That's
keep
not what
saying
we're talking about. We're not talking about men who are still there co-parenting. Unfortunately, they're because I get what you're saying. If that was the case that the relationship didn't work out, and men are still saying, "Okay, I'm still going to make a way to be in my child's life," fine. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing men say, "Okay, if we're not in a relationship, I'm walking out of your life and the children's life."
and typically that's not how it works, though.
No, that's actually a thing.
No, I'm not gonna say that there's not guys doing it. Obviously, right? But I like to talk on the majority, right? It's like most guys is not like most guys aren't like I made this baby. I'm gonna leave the baby. Like they might be trying to walk away or leave the woman, but because let's be real, the woman's gonna take the baby as hers, which means if you don't fuck with me, then you can't fuck with my baby because it's her baby in her opinion. So I don't get the concept. It's like no, you kick that man out. You remove the access to the child because you don't like how he talked to you or how he treated you or how he made you feel. So you remove yourself. My thing is like, why do women keep regurgitating this talking point of men leaving and they left? It's like that's not fucking true. Like
No,
most.
that's actually a thing. There's actually like if a couple gets a divorce, over I forgot the amount of time, eventually the father is not nearly involved as much as he was before, which is why women spend more time with children. Hold on for a second.
Did she go on mute or am I tripping?
She might have went ahead to go on mute, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking
What's
about
your
something.
response? Go ahead, Flesh.
He is follower of the DL. What the fuck?
We not
Y'all just be saying anything. But what was I say? But yeah, it's the overall point I'm trying to say is you said what?
I'm saying good night to Shook. She said she's going to sleep.
But yeah, the overall point is like that whole mindset of men are leaving is just not true. Like it's emotions leaving is just not true. Like it's emotions that are being projected as if it's a reality, like it's a truth. It's like it's not true at all. It's
Are you saying that women who are raising children alone, claiming that the fathers are leaving, they're lying about it?
leaving the child, yes, because let's be real, right? We all know when a woman has a child, that connection she have that to that child is automatic. Like that's her baby. That's why a lot of women that postpartum thing, like they really become on that mother bear type of thing where like that
But
any.
you know,
Go ahead.
but you know what's weird? Because I have a great niece. Like my niece got a daughter. Like I would like me having access to her makes like life it's simple. Like I don't have no worries. So like I'm not stressed. It like I see them a good bit, but like I'm not like really stressed about seeing her per se, right? If my niece was to cut me off for whatever reason and try to sever my relationship with my niece, all of a sudden I would be hyper fixated with trying to see my niece. Because like it's something so comfortable about like the setup now, because like I'm close to them. Like we are always around each other constantly. Like I just left from being with my niece my great niece. We always around each other, like it's whatever. Constantly able to hear her voice, know what she got going on. If my niece cut me off, like I think I would like be panicking. Like I would be panicking because I don't know what that would look like, but I would be hyper obsessed about why the fuck, like what the fuck was going on. So either I would try to work out with her so that I can fix whatever I done that made her feel like she don't want nothing to do with me and me to have anything to do with my niece, or I would be doing things to show up. Like I would be connected with other family members. I would be stopping by the school just to see her get on the fucking bus. I would not go more than a few weeks without being able to hear or see her. And that's my great niece. If it was my child, are you fucking insane? There is no way I would go, like, if my niece let me.
Damn, you went out. But I definitely get your point.
But like her point is still stupid because like I don't know why she felt like that was the same relationship. Like I don't think people realize.
You missed her point. It's not that it was stupid. She's making a point.
Okay,
like
go ahead.
A relationship has been
point.
established. No, what she's saying is a relationship has been established. She values that relationship. Like she will prioritize and make sure that she continue to nurture that relationship. If for some reason her niece want to pull away, she would do what she have to do. And she's saying with her
cheer
children,
practice, baseball practice, softball practice. I will be showing up at the school. Just let me make sure she good. Just let me make sure he good. I just want to see them from a distance. I would be 100 yards away if I had to. I would just want to see my baby. And you want me to believe that men are like, oh, well, the bitch is crazy. She don't want me to see my child. Oh, fucking well.
Wait.
That's weird to me.
So wait. You believe that's weird that you believe a man should have to do all that dumb shit you just said to see his own child?
You're missing the point.
No, I'm asking a question. Like, Drika, is you telling me a man has to jump through all these hoops to have to see his kid? How does that make sense?
But this is an argument that women have with men all the time. Because if that's the case, then just go get the courts involved. If it's that serious of you not having access to your child and you want to be involved in their life, you want to have a relationship with them, you want to make sure harm is not caused to them, like them feeling like they don't matter to you, then go get the courts involved. But the thing is, the argument she's making is that no one can keep her from seeing her child. And it's not enough men with that same energy.
I think, first of all, I don't think that's true at all. But
my child or my niece. It could be my niece either.
It's a talking point y'all say. It's not a factual thing, but y'all frame it as if it's facts. But the point is, right, first of all, most people, like, I don't know if you guys think when they go to court, it's just like it's free. I don't know if you guys think it's just like this. You know, I don't know if y'all think it's cheap.
Even then,
but I
don't know if y'all think it's cheap.
Even then,
but I did.
But even that is not an argument, because if the course costs a lot of money, I'm gonna work the overtime. I'm gonna work the side job. What I got?
You're missing the point. We talking about?
But Tara, but Flashy, I didn't say that I would spend no money. I didn't say I would spend no money to go see if I can get family rights for my niece. I wouldn't, because matter of fact, the reason why I use my great niece is because I don't even know if that's an option. So I wouldn't go get any family rights, but I would see her. Going to certain games are free. You could go to, like, if there's baseball games, like a lot of these, like those softball tournaments, football games, basketball games, it's not free, but like can't nobody, if there's a tournament where there's associations playing against each other and you know that your kid is on the team, you could go to those games and see the kids play, quote unquote, play ball and get to see your child. If you don't have no money, let's take it. You don't got no money to go to court. They being difficult. Yeah, Tara saying that you should try overtime. Let's say you don't have the opportunity to try overtime. Cool. I don't have the opportunity to do overtime. But what I can do, unless you put a restraining order out, I'm gonna go the school. Let's see, at 7:20, I want to see my child get off the school bus. Hey, baby, hope you have a good day. Daddy loves you. And then I go to work. Or, okay, they have games on Saturdays. The games start at 8. I don't know. I don't have no communication with this lady. She keeping me from my child. But I know that association has games on Saturdays from 8:05 to about 3:45. I'm going to go to the game at 8:05 and see if I see my child. I'll ask questions like, what time do 7-8 play? What time do 12-13 play? I'll do that. Oh, your child in high school? The high school boys play football on Fridays at 7 p.m. I would look up and see where do they
Oh my
play. Oh,
God, you
they play in
monologuing.
this town. I would do that.
You monologuing right now. All right, like we get the point. But do
Well,
you
I
think
got a monologue because you didn't get the
no? But the
point.
thing is, do you feel like a father that wants
Because
to
you
be?
about the monologue. You about
It's
the
gonna be short.
monologue to lie.
It's gonna be short and sweet. Do you
I
believe?
bet it won't, but I bet it's gonna be short, sweet, and live. But go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, do you? This is a question too. Do you believe that a person that wants to be in his child life has to do all that shit you just named?
Yeah, because if they pick
What
a poor
the
partner, if
fuck?
they pick a poor partner to release their sperm in, then that's the choice they made. They should be mindful of who they have children with.
I don't. I'm not even gonna argue that. I'm not even gonna. I agree with you 1,000%. A man should definitely be more mindful who impregnate, because a lot of these women should not have children at the fuck all, like at all. So it's unfortunate, but it's reality. So I agree with you on that whole concept. But the fact that a man did make a mistake and got the wrong woman pregnant, and now he has to jump through hoops and do backflips and cartwheels and jumping jacks just to see his child, and we feel like, oh, he's a man, he should have to do that. Or, well, that's your fault. Like, to me, that's insane. That's insane as fuck.
I don't think it's insane as hell if he's sitting here and trying to derail what's that child's normal.
Based on who? I'm assuming the woman sets these standards and what.
Okay, we're going to go with the example that the child lives in one space and the father's the one that made the example to leave and move somewhere else. Let's say dad decides to move 4 hours away. Why should mom have to sit there and drop her kid and take them 2.5 hours to meet that father for visitation? She shouldn't. If the dad's the one who left the area, he's the one who should have to do traffic both ways to get his kid. You make the choice to leave an area that has your family and a support system and things like that are in place, their medical care, all of that stuff. If you're the parent that chooses to leave, you should have to pick up the slack and do all of it to get back and forth to have your time.
I don't think
you should get no break at all.
I don't think you heard anything I said, but okay.
Because here's the thing. You want to sit there and say that these women are picking men that are like not doing that. In the end, at one point, the two of you liked each other enough to do it. Right? Right?
You said what? My bad. Hold on. Say that again.
You're not listening to me either, so carry on. You were sitting there complaining about her monologuing, but you're not listening either.
Well, you have to realize I have a whole life and a whole girlfriend to entertain also, so I do have to.
You have a whole girlfriend. Why don't you go entertain your girlfriend?
Well, I was entertaining her, but I had to have this conversation with y'all. You feel me?
You have to have this conversation? No, you don't. You're sitting here and putting yourself into a place that maybe you don't need to be.
Which is
obviously you're not bringing something to the.
Hey, Mia, talk to this Caucasian woman. She getting too comfortable. I don't know why she talking.
I'm sitting there saying, if you're not bringing something to the conversation that's viable, why are you sitting here and trying to derail your time and multitask? Because men don't do that very well.
I don't know what men you've dealt with, but okay.
I'm sorry, most men don't multitask well at all.
Once again, I'm sorry. That's the type of man you ran across.
No, statistically, men don't. But carry on.
But yet, men could have. Okay, anyway, I'm not.
No, you're just coming off like a fool, man.
Hey, if that's what this white woman is saying, it must be true.
Just because I'm a white woman, that's why I'm the one sitting there saying, I'm just not afraid to call you out for your bullshit.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. I mean, great conversation. Love the passion. Like I said, I gotta go. We about to watch this movie. I appreciate all the support though. Thanks for tap the screen and gifting. We back tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Mother's Day. See y'all later. Bye, y'all.